we're discussing the firing of Travis Teft, which will happen if he continues posting Disney shit.
It's too much, and we all got there at the exact same time. Like, I love when
We're tired of it.
Yeah, when somebody brings an observation to the table, and all of us are like, yeah, we were all thinking the exact same thing. I don't know if you guys have been following. The Teft dog has been out for a few days. I mean, a few days, it's been a month and a half, it feels like.
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
Actually, it's been running very smoothly.
Smooth as silk.
Some would say better than ever.
Yep.
You know. However, there's only my only grievance with Travis being done, with Travis being gone. That was a Freudian slip.
Yep.
He's also done. My only grievance with Travis being gone is the content, if you want to call it that is being vomited through his Instagram account.
It's literally photo after photo. No, you have a daughter, of course. She loves it, and a lot of adults like Disney.
That's fine.
But a week in the Star Wars cantina.
And that's not a week like a work week, or we're just calling it a week. It's 7 days.
It's 7 days.
He's so God. You guys are probably sitting there, like, if you listen to the show every day, you're like, yeah, you talked about Travis being at Disney forever ago. He's still got 2 more days.
By the way, what is the caption? The photos don't bother me. There's a cute photo of his daughter hugging some like lady at the park. What is his captions are enraging.
Well, this one is just hashtag sweepstakes, hashtag Galaxy's Edge, hashtag back to Batu.
That stinks as well. That's not the one.
But it says at Walt Disney World, so I'm assuming there's some kind of contest. Like there's some, like if he hashtags that stuff.
Where is the choose your own adventure? There was one that was choose your adventure.
Keep scrolling.
And I wanted to break his phone.
Maybe try that. Maybe that first one there, Big Thunder Mountain.
No, it was.
Oh, there's no.
It was the 2 Disney park people. It was his daughter and that. He changed it. He edited the caption
because he realized how
horrendous it was.
How terrible it was.
Let me see the last one. That's actually a good picture. The blue Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, he got his new iPhone just in time for it. But if you follow along,
does he have his new iPhone? Is he taking all those pictures with his new iPhone?
Oh yeah, he's got the super wide angle. I'm waiting on mine. I ordered one because it's the same price. Like, it doesn't cost anymore. You just have to, like, I'm paying monthly for my phone anyway.
Well, I think Bob does that too.
Yeah, you pay monthly for your phone, and then you just, I didn't even realize it. I wish I had signed up earlier so I could have gotten it earlier. But, because I was looking, and I was like, every single time I say I'm going to get a stupid Samsung, and I never do because the software is not right on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? It like, the hardware is probably better than iPhones, but the software, the operating system, all that stuff, it's terrible.
How much a month you pay?
$60. You pay $60 a month for your phone, and then
plus your bill.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's like you're paying a loan, but you don't pay anything. You pay $100 and you get the new phone, and then
wait, $100 for what?
When you first when you buy a car, you put $100 down or whatever.
So you do $60 a month. That's $720 a year. Plus $100. That's $820 in a year.
I think the $100 is taxes.
Okay, but it's $820. And I probably paid $1,100 for mine, so it's actually not that much more to outright buy it, unless you do every 6 months.
It ends up being almost exactly the same. Yeah, and but when the new phone comes out, you can just send the old phone in, cancel the loan out. You're done.
Sure.
You don't have to pay the rest of it, and then they send you the new phone, and you just start the cycle again.
Yep. Yeah, the new one I would probably get to the cameras. And you could film both ways. Like, I could film, like, if I held it, I could film me and you at the same time.
I don't know. I mean, Rob said that. I don't think that that's true.
I hope so. That's the only thing that really makes me want to get it.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. I don't know what app would do that anyway.
Well, they have two cameras, maybe. I don't know.
There's already 2 cameras on it.
But maybe they just made the other one able to film in reverse.
Yeah, I don't think that that's a true thing. I think that you can record on 2 of the cameras on the back of the phone at the same time, so you have different angles. But I don't think that you can record the front and the back at the same time. Because also,
I hope so. You can. That was what made me want it.
It would look really weird. Like, it wouldn't. I don't know what the practical use of that would be.
Oh, you can't.
No.
Oh, this is the 2007. Sorry.
Oh, 2017.
Yeah, Rob said the same thing. Because they said you could record with 2 cameras, but I don't think that that's true. I've never seen anybody do it. we accused
No,
Rob.
with the new ones that are. Oh, you mean
they're already out.
Oh, right.
Rob,
Can you do that?
Rob said that we accused Rob of making it up, and then he could find no evidence to back up his claims.
That is true.
So
I don't know.
I think it's for developers to, use that technology to do stuff with. I don't entirely know, but I remember reading that too.
So theoretically, two cameras could be filming at the same time, and if you develop an app that can utilize that, then maybe something could happen with it.
Yes.
But what would you use it for? Like a interview where you look like a selfie and the other person's looking at your phone and you guys are looking face to face? You could just...
Or the selfie, they may... If it's a selfie camera, there may be a way to have a different angle on it so it looks the other way. They may have a way of adjusting that camera so it kind of looks...
It's still like fucking weird. Your arm would have to be in between the two of you?
I wasn't even thinking your arm. I was thinking more of putting it down somewhere, like putting it in between us and shooting both ways.
Why wouldn't you just sit next to him?
You could do that, but I mean, if you just
Just a
want the
different
option,
thing.
yeah. I'm just saying if it's possible.
Oh, I get you. So you're saying like if you're doing the Chip podcast, right? You could put it in the middle of the table and the wide angle could shoot the side of the table with three guests on it and the other side of the camera shoot you.
Yeah, I
And
was
then you'd
thinking
have the two
one-on-one, but
shots.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this you can change your aspect ratio, I guess, but that's not as good as I thought.
Yeah, I have not seen, because I've heard that now from Bob Kelly. You said that's the Bob you were talking about,
I
right?
think so, but it might have been Rob too. I thought I heard it from Bobby, but I might be wrong.
Handsome Rob will just say some shit. You know what I mean? Like he always needs to be talking.
Yeah,
so
he
he will
does.
just say some shit.
That is true.
Right? Like
Yeah.
he'll just kind of hear half a fact somewhere and he'll just present it. We've caught him many times being wrong.
Yeah. I just like to talk.
He loves talking.
Is it the same size as the iMac as the Max S10? Did they shrink the screen again? I mean, is this
No. Well, look, there's like 7 phones or whatever. You have to get the iPhone 11 Pro Max, I think.
Ugh,
Yeah,
that name annoys me.
that's the one. You just get the highest level. So the iPhone 11, first of all, no iPhone 9 ever.
No.
They skipped it altogether.
Yeah.
So that's never happening. But it went straight from the 8 to the 10 to the 11 now. So 9 is just, it's never going to happen. The iPhone 11 has 2 cameras on the back the same way the iPhone 10 does.
By the way, my cameras are always in and out of focus. The cameras on mine stink. Like,
Really?
yeah, they're fighting for focus, and it's got. I have a new phone, so there must be something in the software because it just like a lot of times I go to take a photo and it zooms in and out, and I can't grab the.
And
photo.
that's new?
This phone is new.
No,
but-
meaning did that just recently start happening,
it's
or
been
from the
happening
beginning?
since the phone before this.
Is
Really
it
frustrating.
dark? That happens more in the dark, or it just happens all the time?
All the time? I'm just saying if I take a picture of you. See, right now I want to take a picture of you. It's fine, but there's a lot of times where I
Because
do
I'm
it where-
photogenic.
Yeah, you really are. Like really, really colorful.
Oh, thank you very, very much. Yeah, so the iPhone 11 has 2 cameras on it, on the back, not counting the selfie camera. Or they all have selfie cameras, so technically 3.
Yeah.
But on the back, the iPhone 11 has 2 cameras, the same way the iPhone 10 does, and that helps with like portrait mode and whatnot. The iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11 Pro Max, those are the ones with 3 cameras on the back, and those are the ones where you don't have to zoom in or zoom out anymore, because they got one lens that's a zoom in lens and one.
Lock screen.
Oh, that's really nice. That's good. That's good stuff. that's good. You got me in a candid. But yeah, so the 3 cameras is cool, but it's not. I don't know if it's like a necessity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I can make a phone call.
It can. Yeah, I can make a phone call. Alex in Baltimore.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What? A chip that's all pro.
Hey guys.
Like you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
What's up, Alex?
Alex.
Hey guys, love the show.
Thanks.
Hey, so it does use multiple cameras at once, but not like the front and the back.
Right.
It uses the back one at once, and then the chip inside
What's that?
and the AI. The technology stitches it all together, so it becomes one image. But it's technically using multiple cameras
Right.
at once,
Oh,
So-
okay.
and it's smart enough to stitch it all together to make it look like the image when you're done.
Thanks, buddy. So the people that said that, like Rob, when Rob said it could take, it could video 2 things at once, Like, he didn't actually watch or read about it. He just saw the headline or a tweet and just went with it. If you actually watched them present this thing, is that true or false, Rob, do you think?
That's 100% true.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you and you wanted to talk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like talking.
I see. If you actually watched the...
He does he's chatty.
Oh, my God, he is. He didn't even have the information.
Yeah.
He just wants to input.
It's called, you create discussion.
That's not creating discussion.
Lies.
That's creating technology from nowhere.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm reading right now that
It's a fable.
yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm sorry to tell you that, Jim. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But
I'm glad you saved me from buying it.
You can never believe Rob.
No.
You can never believe Rob. Remember that time you were doing a live chip show and he was like, I'm going to record the audio of it?
That's,
Should I not have brought that up?
yeah, that's a sensitive subject.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's always there.
Yeah,
Right
it's-
beneath the surface.
You always remember, don't you? It's a real bummer, isn't it?
Yeah.
You do a podcast, there's no audio of said podcast. It's
1,000
really,
people.
guess what? That's just a conversation. That's not a podcast.
Yeah.
It's not, it's just chip in conversation at that point.
Mm-hmm.
No record of it. No. So, yeah, what they do is they use all three cameras on the back of it, and they have a mode. So, yeah, what they do is they utilize all three cameras on the back of it, and they have a mode where you could take a photo, and they take data from all the cameras. They take little pixels. They take like 100 photos with all three cameras. They take little pixels, and they give you the best possible photo.
Seems like a lot of that can go wrong.
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, the worst case scenario, you could just get a picture with one lens.
By the way, the new Polaroids that they have, you know those ironic Polaroids they're giving out, the smaller ones that they come out, they look like, they're bigger than, they're like the size, smaller than your iPhone, but they're half your iPhone size.
Sure, yeah.
They fucking stink.
Well, it's just like a retro kitsch.
Yeah, I know, but it's these fucking people who
Yeah.
want something tactile.
Yeah.
Because everything's been digital, so they're trying to throw back and make the Polaroid look glamorous. The old Polaroids were decent. Like, they would take a decent photo. These new ones, what pieces of shit.
The photo quality is different?
Horrendous.
Really?
These small, first of all, they're too small and thin. They're not fat like the old ones used to be. The pictures are not as fat as they used to be. They're fucking hideous.
You can get big ones still.
Yeah, I'm sure you can, but the quality on these little ones is a fucking abominable.
Oh my gosh. They're for the vinyl crowd, right? The people
Yeah.
who buy like records.
Yeah, for these
and-
people
yeah.
that want to experience what,
I
but
get
it's
it.
not. First of all, that was all we had.
The Urban Outfitters crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want this fake tactile experience, but the product is garbage. What
See-
a piece of shit.
Urban Outfitters, like 2 summers ago, was trying to bring back cassettes.
And record players, they did not long ago
Record players worked. Record players came back.
for a little while.
They're still, I mean, vinyl, I think they're selling more than CDs now, although
This
I think
they stopped.
7 CDs were sold last year. So
Yeah.
that's not exactly, that really has more to do with no CDs being sold
Yeah.
than vinyl being sold. But yeah, they tried to bring back cassettes. And everybody was like, okay, so it's something clunkier that sounds worse that gives me less options.
Yeah, I don't understand why anybody would want a fucking cassette just to experience the click of putting it in. It's so
Although-
stupid. Cassettes suck.
Part of me wants to start a VHS collection, so I can't really.
For what? They're not good quality.
I know, they're way
They're
worse.
annoying.
You know what it is?
Your life is too good. We need something to remind us of what it felt like to hold things.
It's whatever, it's the thing people have where they're just in a constant state of trying to relive their youth. That's all. When you were young,
But it's a
You
whole
wanna
new
bring that
generation.
Yeah,
back.
but it's also people looking at things they didn't have and wanting.
Yeah,
wonder
totally.
What that was like.
yep. But yeah, I mean, you know,
Cassettes blow, folks. They blow.
I mean, yeah, so does VHS. You go like,
VHS blows.
oh, remember when you had to fix the tracking? And like, depending on the mood you're in, I'll romanticize that. But at the same time, I click on a thing on iTunes and I'm like, I have 450 movies on iTunes at my disposal.
I hated tracking, and I'll never miss it. I'll never miss that snow or fast forwarding or rewinding. That hard thing when it stops in the beginning and you think it's going to break.
Yeah.
It stunk.
I loved VHS though. I had so many wrestling tapes.
You should get rid of them. You don't need them.
I'll never get rid of them.
Digitize
Put them on DVD. Put them on digital.
They're already all on the network. I don't even need to digitize
no, but
them.
if you want the commercials or whatever.
Right. Or just to have my hard copies,
If you want that.
put them on a hard drive.
It's such an OCD thing that
Hoarder. That's
you're
what it is.
never going to need them. Ever.
Never.
You did them. You got your use out of them. Now they're just wasting space.
I should digitize them.
I got rid of a lot of my old tapes. I put them all on.
Put them on a hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's that thought, well, a hard drive could crash, so I get 2 hard drives and copy them.
Get a second hard drive.
What do you think is more likely, 2 separate hard drives crashing, or the cassettes or the new cassette player not working? It's hard to find things to play VHS on.
Yeah. Yeah, VCRs that work are way tougher to find than
one.
VHSs. Yeah, I have a VCR in my house, but it doesn't really work very well.
No.
Tracking's always messed up. Yeah, that is funny. People are like, what if the hard drive crashes? Yeah, you're right, because a VHS tape, none of them ever broke.
I never throw the old ones out. I just get a lot of old. It's like I have probably 40 copies of every interview I've ever done that was videotaped.
Mm-hmm.
And for what?
So you can go back
They're all
and
online.
be like, man, look how smart I was.
No, at first it was just because we didn't always used to put our interviews all up. So it would be like, in case I wanted to make a demo tape, which I actually did make.
If you want to make a reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now it's like, people are like, oh, can you send us an example of your work?
Go online.
And you just YouTube it.
Yeah.
You just Google Jim Norton and you're like, here's a video. I just found it. Okay, Jason in Ohio is saying that, he's still, I bet Rob's answering the phones because he's just talking his ear off.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah, what part of Ohio?
Jason in Ohio. What's going on?
Calling from Cincinnati, guys. Great show.
Hi.
Been listening for a while. Just wanted to let you guys know that there is an app that they announced it when the new phone was announced.
Okay.
Called Filmic Pro that will simultaneously record front and rear cameras.
Filmic Pro.
Filmic, Filmic Pro.
Oh, Filmic.
Oh, I see. Filmic Pro.
Not Filmic yet, yeah.
He
Filmic.
left in the it. Video app that contains features that are normally found on standalone cameras. Filmic Pro. All right. Well, that's interesting. Thank you, Jason.
They did a demonstration during the iPhone announcement that showed recording front and rear at the same time. Designed for documentary stuff.
Just go to the website, right?
Podcasts, stuff like that.
Okay, thanks, man, very much. We'll check this out.
Now, this is getting you excited again, but what if it means that you could just download Filmic Pro on your iPhone you already have?
Well, I'll just download it.
Ooh. I don't see front and back anywhere.
Filmic Pro. Well, I'll download it while we're talking.
It's just like different, looks like it's just different
Well, he's saying they did a demo, so
filters and whatnot.
you think it's garbage?
Very possibly. I mean, I don't know why. Yeah, I also don't think it would look very good to have
Maybe
a
not,
selfie
but-
and a video going. Like
Can you do pictures both ways?
not at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get where it's cool. I don't think there is any practical application for using a selfie and a regular camera at the same time. I guess unless you're trying
unless
to
you're
record.
narrating something, like you want to narrate something that's happening. I don't know.
But why would our humble narrator have his face on camera?
People always want to see my face whenever I'm discussing.
That's actually a really,
something.
really good point.
Yeah. Well, there's the two versions.
You gotta get Pro. You gotta get the expensive one.
Yeah, I am, but they're both $14.99.
Oh my God.
You wouldn't get that?
Just to try it? No.
Sure, why not?
No, I wouldn't download that just to be like, oh, as we thought, you can't do it. Did you buy it?
Yep.
You purchased it?
Sure.
Based on caller's recommendation. Maybe caller's right.
Yeah, if he's not, he's not.
Yeah, maybe you're going to
Me
go
a
around.
bag of shells.
Big deal for you, right?
Me
No
a bag
problem.
of shells.
So what brought this all on was, yes, that the Taft Dog has been in Disney with his new iPhone.
And that dumb fucking tag. Choose your own adventure. I guarantee they told him to.
Of course, he's trying to win something. He's either trying to win something or get some kind of discount or do something. It's some corporate tie-in.
I hope he misread the contest.
Yeah.
And he wins, but first prize is you have your hand crushed with a mallet.
Why would you make this the prize?
And they just hold his hand there like in Casino, and they beat it with a mallet.
Just in the back room of Disney.
Yeah, because-
Don Rickles drags him to the back room at Disney.
oh, some champagne.
No, what's driving me crazy is the Instagram stories that he's posting, which you can't obviously see them because they expire after 24 hours.
Yeah.
But he's doing the same things over and over again. because you realize that as much as there is to do in Disney World, you don't need to be there for 7 days.
No, you really don't.
I went last year. I think we did the whole thing in 3 days.
Yeah.
And we went without kids, so that made it a lot quicker.
How do you have Disney with no kids in it? You like my joke?
That's great. It was really cute. Do you think that one was cute, Troy?
I do.
Okay. No, we went
It was
without.
harmless.
We went without our kids. Okay. Wait. Troy has found something, Filmic Pro, where they are videoing with both cameras at the same time.
iPhone 11, though.
iPhone 11. So
I can't do it with this one.
You might need to get the new iPhone.
Yeah, okay.
And Rob, you still don't get credit for this. You still made it up.
No, I didn't. Clearly, I heard it and knew.
Okay, you just admitted before that you did make it up. So you can't, if we find evidence that it's true,
Well, I found
you
the
can't
evidence.
then turn back and say, well, I didn't make it up because you already said you did.
This would
I
be
just didn't know the app.
This would be okay if you were doing like some, again, it's not going to be professional quality, but if you're doing like a little interview and you're filming something for whatever podcast you would want it,
Yeah.
it could actually be practical.
Looks like Skype.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Except you'd be in the same room. It's weird, but I'm sure you could find something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather have it than, it's like a gun. I would rather have it than not, better to have it and not need it. Yeah.
Probably a stretch. I don't know if it's like a gun.
No.
Probably a bit much, no?
No. I don't want to wave this app around. All right. So
But-
the
but-
iPhone 11 I need anyway.
Yeah, you got to get it.
What's the wait time for it?
I still haven't gotten mine. I think it was 3 weeks.
Oh, God.
It's so fucking annoying.
Douchebags.
And maybe if you go to the store, you can get it quicker.
No,
I don't
you
know.
can't.
But I ordered it on my phone, and it's the maximum one. You know, it's the best one. The big one with the 3 cameras.
I know,
and
but
the
I had to buy one outright when I dropped mine in the urinal.
That's great. That's awesome. You had to pay cash up front?
I just bought it, yeah. I
You
do that
got-
because
you-
I know that if I fuck it, sometimes I go a year and a half with a new phone. Like, I would want to pay more for it. Like,
What'd you do with the piss phone?
Give it to a friend of mine.
Should have sold it on eBay and not mentioned there's piss all over it.
Nah, a friend of mine needed it. Their phone broke, and I'm like, just take this.
Did you tell him there's piss on it?
Yeah.
I guess if it's a free phone, what are you going to complain?
Yeah, exactly. Put the piss by your face, make a call.
And if you're going to have a piss phone, Jim Norton's piss phone is the piss phone to have.
I
right?
called them a lot.
You did?
And
You
they
put it right
answer.
up to your ear.
Yeah, I'll say, sniff it, click.
But Travis is now at the point where he's taking his family to do the exact same rides over and over again because they've already been there for so long.
Although you could probably spend a week in Disney and not see the same thing every day, right?
No.
Oh, you can't? Okay.
I don't think so. If you're doing it in a timely fashion. Like, the thing about Travis is he's like me in the sense that when he goes to Disney, he wants to get the most bang for his buck. And you plan in advance, and you schedule your time properly, and you maximize each half day. That's the way to do it. Maximize each half day. A half day is enough to make it comfortable
Right.
and to still see a lot. So you go early in the morning, then you take a siesta in the afternoon back at the resort, and then you go in the evening. But if you do it that way, you're knocking out 2 parks a day.
Oh.
You can easily, if it's just adults, you could do it in 3 days. If you got kids, you could probably do it in 4.
So, there's Lisa walking with Goofy. I guess all the characters. What do you? I'd probably be bored there without the ride.
But I'm watching him do the same
I don't
rides.
like kids. What am I going to do?
He's doing the same rides multiple times.
Yeah, but he likes rides. It's fun. If you like rides, it's probably fucking fun.
But you know what? Where my suspicions started to get going, and he'll never admit that he's getting bored there. But yesterday after the show, at 10 o'clock or 10:30 or whatever time it was, we usually play PUBG Mobile after the show. That's a staff exercise. Travis texted me and Rob, and he said, "Hey, are we gonna get in a game?" So he's texting from Disney to get into a PUBG Mobile game with me and Rob because he knows that we're playing. I think at that point, you've probably seen everything there is to see at Disney, don't you?
Why are they taking a picture with both of their phones? Let me see. They both have their phones. Did they have the new iPhones, or they're both
Who
snapping?
are you talking about?
Him and Lisa, go down a little bit. There's a weird photo of them just snapping their phones into a mirror. There. Oh,
That's
they're
a
holding
bag.
drinks.
Those
I
are-
thought they were holding iPhones. I'm like, what a weird photo.
Those are
They're
beverages.
beverages. Okay.
Look at Frilly Travis getting ready to put his pinky up.
Yes, he is.
Definitely, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His shirt it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
When in Rome, he's wearing a Mickey Mouse
It
shirt.
just says Mickey Mouse.
There's a picture of Mickey on it, too.
I fucking hate Mickey Mouse.
Why?
He's a dick.
Are you
get
kidding
that.
me?
You get it, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't mind certain, like Bugs Bunny I like. Bugs Bunny was funny.
Why don't you like Mickey?
A douche.
Mickeymouse?
Fuckyu.
Oh my gosh. Of all the things to say.
Yeah, I never liked Mickey Mouse.
That's too bad. That's a crying shame if you ask me.
I'm glad he's having fun though.
He is having
He's a good family man. He has fun with his wife and daughter. I mean, they do a lot of fun shit. So
Yeah.
he lives a very full life.
Yeah.
I admire Travis. I think he leads a very full life.
When you like your family, it's fun. It's a good thing.
Yeah, really.
You know, I feel bad for people who don't, who like look at their families as a burden. I'm like,
Yeah.
what did you do that for?
Yeah,
Then?
him and his family doesn't like him.
They look at him as a burden. Yeah. He's like,
What's this? Oh no, what was that video?
Troy's just clicking around.
Was that his?
No,
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, it is.
it's his wife's.
Oh, Lisa Tefts. All right,
Yeah.
what is it? This is.
Oh, it's video from the Star Wars ride.
Program to find these things. Now just turn us around this instant before we get into trouble. I knew it.
Stop right there.
Don't shoot.
I know you have a spy on board.
This is nothing.
I would hate that so much.
Well, see, that's
Oh no, it's Luke and he's outside the ship. And then the whole thing shakes. Oh no,
That's
we're
how-
flying through space.
you never rode Star Tours?
No, I didn't.
It's when you get on a spaceship
Do you?
and you go through space, and R2 and C-3PO are your guides. And you're sitting in a room and
Boop, boop, boop. Look, Master Luke. It's a person with mouse ears. Beep, boop, boop.
no, you're not in Disney. You're in space. The
Oh,
whole
yeah?
room shakes like it's a spaceship.
That might be okay. I wouldn't mind that. I want to, you know what I want to do? I want to go on a fucking ride that's like a really, really professional airline simulator that shows you terrible turbulence and crashes. Like that's no.
Why would
but-
they do that at a theme park? That's death.
Wherever it is. I mean, or nose diving, horrible things that would happen on a plane. Like everybody would love to experience that.
No, they
without
wouldn't.
Yes, they. Mike, comment.
Yeah, I actually would, just if for no other reason than so that when I'm on an actual plane, I don't have to freak the fuck out every time it shakes a little bit. I know then what an awful crash is going to feel like.
Yeah, or you show
Preparation.
like terrible.
Nobody goes to theme parks for that, Jim. This is you.
They go to be scared.
This is like you.
You drop five. What are you talking? They drop 500 feet. They go up a thing. What's this? It's the lifty drop. What is that? It lifts you and drops you.
Are you talking about Twilight Zone Tower of Terror? It's a whole experience.
Yeah, you get lifted up and you fall down.
Flight 800, the ride.
They,
No, Jim. People who like to sit home and watch beheading videos would enjoy the theme park.
no,
you're
no,
describing.
it's not for that. It's to see what it feels like.
Nobody wants to see what a plane crash would feel like.
They don't have it crash. Just have it nose. I watch I watch turbulence videos online. Go online and Google turbulence, and they have incredible videos of turbulence, and I watch it.
Yeah, no. This you
They have
saying
millions of views.
everybody would love this is incorrect.
Mike would like it.
Yeah, Mike's got his own issues.
I would enjoy it. Look at these videos.
Mike
Oh,
thinks
watch
he's-
this flight attendant. Watch this.
Mike thinks he's going to prepare for a plane crash at a theme park.
That's fucking great. But everyone lives. They get hurt, get knocked out, but they all live. The plane doesn't crash.
Who cares?
the guys. They're dripping.
They're covered in. The woman's praying.
Oh fuck yeah!
Why would you look up turbulence videos?
Because I've been getting this. I told you this weird fear of flying coming, and now it's kind of going away again.
Because you watch other people have worse?
No, because you see that no matter how bad it is, nothing happens to the plane.
That's not
Plane is
true because
fine.
the videos you don't see are the ones that crash.
I
But they
think
don't
there's-
crash because of turbulence.
I don't think there's ever been a crash because of turbulence.
No, or the wind shear is done because they have the new radar for 30 years now has been able to detect wind shear.
No, but I'll bet that when a crash is happening, it starts feeling like turbulence.
Well, but that's a mechanical problem. It's not turbulence.
Of course.
Yeah,
No, turbulence doesn't result in crashes.
never. Anyway, so that's what So I would like that in a theme park. I say it doesn't crash and you
What's
don't die,
Death
but
World?
just nose diving. No, but that's all those rides.
That's like a haunted house.
Have that fear. They have whether it's a haunted house, whether it's the fucking the plummeting, whether it's the roller coaster, it's all that same thing. Why else they have you going backwards, upside down? Your fear of death. That's what
Yeah,
it
but
is.
they don't sit there and simulate death. They go like, "Oh, this is fun and safe."
But you're
And it's a
simulating
rush.
simulating a nosedive. It doesn't even have to be death. It could just be the experience of what that would feel
Well,
like.
if you made it something fun and magical, maybe.
Nah, I don't want fun and magical.
I know you don't.
It'd be the darker adult side.
Yeah, you want a haunted house. Now, if you build a haunted house with a plane crash simulator in it, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that's a crazy idea. That could be a huge business.
I want to go on a plane simulator and see how bad it can get. And then what happens?
So you want to see the worst turbulence ever in a plane crash simulator without crashing.
Yeah.
That way, the next time there's bad turbulence, you're like, this isn't as bad as a simulator.
Right, and see exactly what the they said. If you could look at the front, like the readouts on a plane, even in bad turbulence, it hardly move. Like
meaning we feel it, but it's like the plane as a machine doesn't.
Yeah, it's not a problem to turn.
This is what we do.
This is what it does.
It's what it's built to do.
So yeah, well, Travis is having a good time. And by the way, Caesar, I won't go on it.
What's going on, Caesar?
So there's a place in Groton, Connecticut that we go to for survival training. It's called Survival Systems, and they put you in a mock airplane fuselage, and then they dunk you in a big pool, and it flips upside down, and you got to get out before you drown.
Now, that's like naval training, though. That's what they do. Officer and Gentleman did that. David Caruso couldn't get out.
That's too bad.
He panicked.
Yeah.
And you ever seen Officer and Gentleman?
I don't think so.
It's good. Richard Gere and Lou Gossett Jr. won the Oscar for it. Deborah Winger's in it. It's really good.
Yeah.
And
no, I know it.
It's about, a guy who's in, Richard Gere's kind of a scumbag. Robert Loggia's in it. Mm-hmm. And they show that shows you when you go in the water and they flip them upside down and these guys have to like unbuckle and swim out. And Caruso, right before he goes in, asks the instructor, does this hit with the same force as a plane? And he's like, son, this is nothing compared to a plane crash. And then you just know he's going to panic.
Yeah, I would panic.
Already asking.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa. And he almost makes in the pool, he always makes the fucking diver drown with him.
He's already scared going in.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, you don't want to. But I bet if you could create a Jim Norton House of Horrors and it's just a bunch of near-death experiences, there is an audience for it. I'm not saying nobody wants to see it. I'm saying nobody wants that at Disney World. But I would go to a Jim Norton House of Horrors where it's like.
You know what it would be?
What would it be like?
A wife and 2 kids trying to sleep. Apnea.
Yeah. You mean it would just be my house?
Just normal suburbia with my apnea. Everyone's sleeping, but I'm like, the clock is 3:30 a.m. No, you know what I was thinking of? I was in Toronto.
Like, how great would it be if you're driving to your Jim Norton House of Horrors and you don't realize it's going to happen, but you get pulled over on the way to it, and you don't realize it's not even the cops, it's the cartel, and they throw you in the back of the truck, and your whole House of Horrors experience starts with thinking you're getting kidnapped by the cartel. Most
of mine would be height-oriented. Like,
I see.
The one I was thinking of is I was in the in Toronto, and I went by the CN Tower.
Yes.
And I was thinking, because it's kind of like a curved top.
Yeah.
Going down. I'm like, what would happen if you were standing on the outside of that?
Yeah.
Like with your back up against the spire, and you knew if you walk 2 feet forward, you're going to start sliding down that curved thing and over. Like, what would the camera angle like to look over that?
And that would be part of the House of Horrors?
Part of the House of Horrors. All this stuff looking down or dangling. Dangling from that. Like slipping
I'm already
and
getting
grabbing
goosebumps.
onto something.
Yeah, no, I can't.
And dangling. What would that be like? That would be my House of Horrors. Those are the weird things. Not beheadings.
No. But you watch beheadings.
I haven't that much lately.
Good for you. Good for you. Now it's just height and...
No, I can't find heights. I saw beheading recently. I didn't like it.
Good for you.
Jim.
Good for you. I think he's. Let's look at the positive.
I didn't like it, but
You
the
didn't
height
like
thing
it.
scares me. Yeah, the height thing.
But you didn't like the last. Why didn't you like the last beheading?
I just didn't.
Why not? Because a lot of times you're like, oh, that's interesting, but this time you didn't like it.
I didn't care for it.
There has been beheading videos that you've enjoyed, though.
Never enjoyed, but no, like always.
Like, oh, look at that's fascinating. But this time, do you think it's you changing, or do you think it was the specific beheading that you're like, I don't like this?
It might have been a combination.
I see. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I
Every little
don't
bit
click
counts.
on that stuff usually anymore.
You know Kathy Kelly, right? Kathy did she was there with WWE. She did the CN Tower outside walk with the bungee cords on her.
Is it called Skywalk?
Maybe. I told her she's a lunatic for it, but she doesn't even care. I don't understand people that just can do those height things.
Is she afraid of heights?
No. She's fine with it. She thought she was, but she walked out there and she was like leaning, doing the thing where the cords followed her and she just leaned back over Toronto.
Crazy.
It was crazy. No way. I'm not even taking an elevator up there. Forget it.
No, the elevator up is not as bad as you think because it's an outside elevator, but you are inside.
I know, but I thought it was going to be okay in the
my
Sears Tower.
fucking
Look at her.
God.
She's
That's
just
Kathy. Wow.
dangling. That's Kathy. She's got her
handling it
arms
well.
out. They posted a video of it. It's on YouTube.
Would
yeah,
you
she
do that,
doesn't
Troy?
care.
Never.
She doesn't care. Look how small the little cars are under her.
The funny thing is, look at the person backing up. The woman back. If you dangle, what would happen if your feet come off?
Kathy is like one of those Russians that climb up construction sites and stuff. Like,
Wow.
she doesn't care at all. Look at how
She's
high
very
up they are.
comfortable.
Yeah, see, the wrestlers don't want to do it at all, and Kathy's just leaning all the way back, showing
Who's
off.
that next to her?
It's a wrestler named Peyton Royce.
Yeah, she's really.
Fuck that.
No,
I wouldn't do it. But
Dude,
that's
I'd be-
amazing that
I'd
they
be-
have that
I'd be in the fetal position as far to the other side of the edge as humanly possible.
against the wall.
Against the wall. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it in any way, shape, or form. I'd be gripping the floor.
There's nowhere to grip. You're literally walking and you're tethered. It's pretty safe, but there's nowhere to grip on that fucking thing. You can't even.
That's why I'd be like, the floor is graded. There's no railing,
Fuck no.
but the floor is graded. I'd be laying down on the floor, probably on all fours, with my fingers in the
Kind of
steel grating.
like being in a hotel room.
That's not true.
Yeah, now they're leaning forward. You're right. The fucking the part being graded would drive me nuts.
I mean, I couldn't even stand out there leaning against the wall.
No.
Dude, I'm nervous right now looking at this.
No,
Because
I know,
looking
my hands
up
are
at the top, you imagine if there were if you didn't have and you had to crawl along the grating and it was windy.
But you see Kathy leaning over and just looking over the side?
She's crazy.
Like, it's nothing.
Yeah, fuck that. My
What's
ex,
going
I
on
told
in
you,
your
my
head?
ex years ago, we went to Vegas and she jumped off of the.
Oh yeah, they do that jump that's like a
called-
slow bungee jump, right? It's not even a
you're
bungee.
fast. No, it's a controlled lower. It's a controlled descent off of the hotel. What's that called? The tower in Vegas. Not the CN Tower, obviously. That's
No.
Toronto.
Stratosphere.
Stratosphere.
They have a ride at the top of the Stratosphere where you go on like a roller coaster car. Did you see that one? And it goes over the edge, and it can you show that one? The Stratosphere, not the sky jump, but the ride that goes. There's a roller coaster on top of the Stratosphere, and there's one where you can just kind of go out over the edge in a roller coaster car, and it looks like you're gonna fly over the edge. That one.
No.
This dangles you over the outside of the Stratosphere.
And these are you know why I really don't like it? Because they look like carnival rides. Like, they look like they could. I'm sure that they couldn't, but they look like they could fall apart.
And you should see the people operating these.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they are lost in a field. Fucking, They're just fucking around with each other.
Yeah.
And goofing.
They're just there to push the button.
Yeah, but show the one where the fucking car juts out.
It's too much.
And
Who needs it?
Look at that one right there. It's like a cart.
Oh, that's so stupid. So what it is it's a giant steel beam that just protrudes outside of
Protrudes.
this extremely, I think I always say it like that.
Yeah, you do.
Outside of this extremely tall building.
Nope.
Would you do that?
It's one track. It's a single rod, and it's probably, I don't know, 20 feet long. Probably a lot longer than that, actually. Probably 100 feet long. And there's one roller coaster car on it, and it just goes back and forth. It just wheels back and forth because the track almost goes up and down like a seesaw.
And there's no sides.
There's no sides to it. And if you sit in the front seat, you're actually off the track. The cart dangles off the front of the track.
And it dangles you back.
It's too much, Jim.
And then it you tip forward, and
Yes.
it literally looks like you're just gonna fly off the edge.
It's too much, Jim. I don't want to do it.
Look at this. The guy's got his hands up. They're crazy. These guys.
I would just hate it. I would hate every
And then it
minute
just
of
jerks forward like it's gonna fall. Like
No,
you're
I
right. It
don't.
looks like a carnival ride. That's gonna be a great ride until it does fall.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Like, people are like, "Oh, it's so safe," but who's going to be the one person that finds out it's not that safe?
How long is this ride? It's fucking endless. The one that zooms up to the top, there's a top spear or spire. That's not as bad. You just get a good view of Vegas.
Yeah.
Several years ago, it was probably like 6 or 7 years ago at this point, maybe even more. Jess and I went to Hershey Park. We just drove out there. I think we had a couple days off or whatever, so we just went out there for a couple days. And that's when I realized that I had a what were you going to say about Hershey Park? I mean, since you're 7 years old, what were you going to say? Maybe something about the road we took. Was it going to be about the road we took?
Yes, it was.
Was it going to be about, dude, do you think we drove Parkway or was it a highway?
What's the question? I suspect it was a highway.
Named after the park?
Yep.
Hershey Highway? Okay. You should be happy and prideful that at 51 you're asking if you took the Hershey Highway to go to Hershey Park. I think that's a beautiful thing. We should all be so lucky. But that's what, so we got there at night and like the park was about to close, but the dumb gondola ride was still open, which is Hershey Park. It's not like the most advanced theme park in the world. It's for kids. It's whatever. And they put a couple rides next to the chocolate factory, but they put a gondola up so you can go around the whole park and look at what's there.
How high off the ground?
At its highest, pretty high at its highest, but no more than 5 or 6 stories.
All right, so 60 feet, 50 feet.
Something like that. Yeah, I would say that. But we went up on this thing. And I was like, yeah, Jess, let's get on. And we ran to it and I jumped on. No part of me was going, this is going to be scary. It was totally fine. And I just sat on it and it's just a slow moving thing. And within seconds of leaving the ground, I went into a full on panic attack up there. I couldn't move. I was stiff. Jess is like sitting there. She's having the time of her life, not feeling any of this because all I could think about, because there's no seatbelt. You're sitting in this like curved plastic thing with a metal rail.
Yep.
And all I could think about first was sliding out and just falling. And then when you see the big pole that keeps the cables up and you realize how close you are to it and that you're not naturally supposed to see the top of this pole. Yeah. Freaking out. And Jess is sitting there going like, oh, look at that roller coaster over there. Oh, look at that. You can see everything. And I just like whispered to her. I was like, Jess, everything's fine. Everything's cool. But I need you to know I'm freaking out right now.
And when you go over the thing, like, because it has to pass over the top of the pole.
Like when it turns.
It kind of like, it dips a little when it goes over, just like a ski lift.
So bad.
A gondola.
So bad. Yeah, same deal.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? I was like, just relax. I can't look at you. And I couldn't move. I couldn't move my neck. I was just like, I'm freaking out. So we just need this to be over now. She was like, I don't know what to tell you.
Would you go to the top of the Ferris wheel in Vegas? For some reason, that's not. It's hard. It's really high, but you're enclosed in a big car, and it's like these aren't going to fall.
Enclosed is better.
Yeah,
enclosed is a lot better.
I did that last year.
And is that the one with like windows and doors? So like,
it's massive. There's like 20 people per car.
Oh, but it's huge, right? It's super tall up
Yeah,
there.
I went on with Jen. She was in Vegas with me, and I cut a really loud gasser.
But it doesn't have a glass bottom, right?
No.
Then I'd probably be okay, I think. I do very poorly with glass bottoms.
Yeah, no glass bottom.
That's what they call me.
Glass bottom?
Because I'm fragile.
No, that's not why.
Why is it?
Because you can see dicks in there.
It's transparent.
It's like an x-ray of dicks.
Looks like an Albert Fish x-ray except phalluses.
Yeah. Bunch of them in your little hiney.
Michelle in Boston.
Hey boys.
Hey Michelle.
Hello.
I went on that stratosphere ride that goes over the edge.
You maniac.
And I had such a fear of heights growing up, I couldn't go on the seesaw on the playground.
And how did you do on this stratosphere thing?
I went on it twice.
So it was fine for you?
I had more trouble looking down inside the tower itself than I did on that ride.
That's so
Why?
weird. You
Isn't
just
that
never
why?
know how things will affect you, I guess.
I don't know why it was okay to be out there, but it was terrifyingly awesome at the same time.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
Michelle.
won't do any of that shit. I mean,
Maybe it's so bad that your brain just shuts off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And doesn't even process it as reality.
I couldn't handle it.
No way, me neither. I don't want to be on the roof of anything. I like being on the floor. Better yet, basement.
Bert jumped off the fucking stratosphere.
Bert doesn't even like roller coasters. And he had to do the whole Bert the Conqueror show doing all this stuff. He always talks about how much he hated it.
Jim in Saraville, because I've actually seen video of this.
What's up, Jim?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah.
There's a video on the internet Jim just mentioned, and what happens is it's like a bridge with like these gaps in between, and then what happens is you get strapped on to like this harness, and you got to jump over the gaps from like plank to plank, try to make it across, and if you don't make it across, you literally fall like thousands of feet.
You're
And so,
tied? Yeah, you are tethered to the wall, but it's a terrifying. You are tethered, but dude, it's still a very horrifying thing. Oh yeah, safety cord unfastens mid jump. Did this guy?
Oh, this is dumb.
Wow. Oh, he had a safety.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Jim. So we're looking at video.
Wow.
Of this bridge in China, and it's this giant bridge where it is. It's like a bridge made of planks, but you have to jump between the planks because there's huge gaps in between them, and you would die if you fell. But
that's
tethered.
not the one I'm thinking of. Sorry, man. Is that the one you're thinking of, sir?
I already hung up.
The stunt bridge.
Oh my God.
Because you're tethered, but they showed this guy is jumping across him, and he doesn't realize it. But during his last jump to the final plank,
ooh, fuck,
the tether comes undone.
He dropped his phone.
I think that was his shoe, or was it his phone? I don't know.
Oh, maybe it was his shoe. But I would know. The thing I'm thinking of is actually along the side of a mountain, and it's an old.
Yeah, we're looking at a guy try to go.
Yeah, it's his shoe.
You can see
slipper. He's wearing fucking slippers.
His shoe fell off, and he's still tethered in. But watching that shoe, how far it goes down, that's when reality sinks in.
That.
Nah, I don't want anything to do with
Yeah,
any
the
of
one
it.
guy's.
What a stupid contraption to build. What a dumb thing to create.
The guy's fucking safety thing malfunctioned.
I mean, and she falls off. This is such a stupid thing to exist. Why have it exist?
You're tethered in there, but it's
dumb. There is no upside to it. I don't respect people who do things like this. This is why I like to stay home.
And the guy lived.
You have an empty life if you need near-death experiences this bad.
No, go to the one that's near the that one right there. This is just literally it's a cliff. It's it's the world's highest.
Oh yeah, this is the bridge. It's not even really a bridge. It's just this really narrow walkway that goes alongside this mountain, right?
Terrible, and it also I've seen a guy jump off there too. There's a video of a guy jumping.
Dumb,
but it goes around. Well, he killed himself. It goes to some shrine. I forget what it's called, but I wouldn't do it.
Did you see? There was a story that somebody jumped off the
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon. They have that glass lookout.
Yeah.
Where you can walk out into the Grand Canyon. You can see below you and everything. Somebody hopped the rail and killed himself.
You can't avoid that with something like that. It's going to happen. I hope they don't fuck it up and make it where now you can't look over just because some asshole decides to do that. It is what it is.
Somebody just wants to be famous.
You know,
he wants his death to matter. No, he didn't just kill himself. I mean, if you just want to kill yourself, you can go swallow a bunch of pills or take some razor blades in the bathtub. If you want to be a performance artist about it, I bet, because if you're jumping off the Grand Canyon, the tourist spot of the Grand Canyon, you want people to notice.
Yeah.
And if you want people to notice you that bad, you probably still do have some will to live. I'll bet he's a guy that on his way down was going, oh, shit.
What are they saying about me?
Yeah, why the fuck? I'm never going to know what they said. He's basically at the end of the song Stan, when Stan is driving off a bridge and he forgets how he's going to get the tape to Eminem. Bad. You probably still do have some will to live. I'll bet he's a guy that on his way down was going, oh, shit.
What are they saying about me?
Yeah, why the fuck? I'm never going to know what they said. He's basically at the end of the song Stan, when Stan is driving off a bridge and he forgets how he's going to get the tape to Eminem.
Right.
That's him jumping off the Grand Canyon going, oh, shit, how am I going to get the reaction from these people?
My tea's gone cold. D.
You love the Elton John version.
I was the Dido version.
Oh, that was Dido?
I prefer hers, yeah.
Because Elton has sucked since 1985.
No, I like Elton.
Now.
I do. Yeah, he was better in the 70s, but I still like
He's been horrible for at least 25 years.
I disagree. I'm still
30 years.
Better than he's ever been. Feeling like a new survivor. Like
I know that song because I know that song from the film Sing. It's a child's movie.
Would you go on that thing where you walk around the side of the mountain?
Never.
Good for you.
It's very scary.
I did a interview in a helicopter over Manhattan.
Dumb.
And they're like, the last question, we want you to hang your feet over the side. I started moving. I'm like, fuck no, not doing that.
Like, why can't you just do the interview in a?
That's what I said. No.
Just do the interview on the ground. We'll go to your office.
Yeah, I won't do any of that stunt shit.
I mean, I get why.
I won't do any stunt shit.
I'm going to tell you something. We've been on the air for about 3 years, and in the history of all of our interns, never have we had a more cumbersome coffee dropper offer than our new intern, Frank. I mean, I get why you guys need to do it. You want the press, it's valuable. Do the interview in the helicopter, but don't you wish that you didn't need the press, that you wanted the press but didn't need it, and you could just sit there and go, no, we do interviews on the ground?
Well, when it was pitched to us,
yeah,
they're like, we're going to do an interview in a helicopter. You think to yourself, okay, you know what a helicopter looks like.
Yeah.
This helicopter didn't have doors.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, you thought it was going to be Epstein's.
I thought we were going on the Lolita Express.
Right.
I thought we were doing the interview on Pedophile Island.
And as soon as you start taking off and the wind's blowing through there and you can feel the helicopter rocking, you're like, fuck
Does a helicopter drop and rock or?
A little bit. It was really windy when we did it.
You don't feel safe? How high are you? Like 1,000 feet?
I mean, way up over Manhattan.
If you're going to be on that on a helicopter, it's got to be a rich guy's helicopter, like on that show Succession, where they have couches and soundproofing, and it looks more like a private jet than a helicopter.
I would like to go on a cop helicopter.
Why?
Because I would trust that.
I guess because it's got to be the most safe.
Yeah, and they maintain them. You never hear police helicopters crashing. I would trust a police helicopter.
And the pilot has got to be really good.
I trust a police operator. Yeah.
Yeah, you can trust it. It doesn't feel like it'd be comfortable, though. They don't design those things for comfort. They design them for functionality.
Hang on a second.
That's my white privilege. Would you go in a helicopter if the police took me?
That's white privilege?
Yep.
I see.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's pretty high. Are you over the buildings, too?
Yeah.
Are you both in suits?
So
oh, my God.
dumb.
What a narrow little fucking shitty helicopter.
Right.
It's so dumb.
It was terrible.
Let me hear a little bit.
And they try to do an interview with us, and it's like...
Yeah, we have a pretty interesting process because we don't really take anything.
Why does everybody have to be cute?
I would hate that, dude. There's like your shoulders are hanging out on each side.
Everybody has to be cute. Like, it's not enough to just do a goddamn interview. Just have a conversation. You know what I mean?
Look at Troy, so uncomfortable, trying to put his hand pensively over.
And he's trying to be a good sport. He's trying to play the game.
I'm trying to be a team player here.
You're trying to play the game. You're probably your label and your manager was like, "Oh, it'd be a good idea. You're gonna be in the sky."
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
that's a nice view.
You gotta say no, Troy. You gotta say no.
At this point, I would never do that again.
Yeah.
Look at how you guys are both like. There's barely room for two seats. It's tiny.
It's dumb. It's not unreasonable for you to say if somebody wants to interview me, we'll just have a conversation. Just an interview. We don't need to do extras. We don't need to have fancy fun stuff. We don't need to have caviar around us and just have a conversation.
Yeah, everybody wants to do something wacky.
It doesn't. We don't need it. You know what gets like attention? Having a good conversation. If you just have a good conversation and it's interesting, people will watch it. You don't need all the hoopla around
They
it.
should have had you guys playing jacks, but not strapped in.
I got twosies.
I wouldn't trust that seatbelt.
No, of course not. That's not going to save your life.
That's a beautiful fucking view, though.
It's
wow.
incredible.
You couldn't enjoy it.
I would rather see that view with doors.
Yes.
They have that with doors. Can you have helicopter? We could just open the window. How about if I just want to open the fucking window? Why is it either it's closed in or I'm almost dead?
That's a great question. I just don't.
You don't look like you're bouncing around that much, though.
The wind flying through that thing is unbelievable.
Just clinging on for dear
freezing
life.
cold. You can see how cold Jared is. He's like shivering.
How long were you up there?
It's kind of humiliating to have to do something like that.
You know,
it is, isn't it? It's dehumanizing.
Well, we did a photo shoot with the helicopter. So they're like, tying all this together. The record label, was like, they think of these wacky ideas. So let's do the photo shoot with the helicopter, and then we're going to send you up for an interview. It'll be fun.
How long were you up there?
For what?
30 minutes. And we're like, dude, let's go back.
Yeah.
Fun for who?
I wouldn't mind a quick ride.
I would.
I wouldn't mind a helicopter, but they do crash sometimes. Those ones around Manhattan.
Of course they crash.
They bump into planes, fucking, like little biplanes or whatever.
A little duck comes up and gets caught in the propeller.
Yeah, you can go to this place, Fly fly Nyan in New Jersey.
Ugh.
Look, there you go.
Feet hanging over.
Dumb.
That's what they do.
Stupid. How about this? Go to an indoor, you want something wacky, indoor skydiving. And while you're in the indoor skydiving tube, you can talk about your whatever you want to talk about.
Or how about this? How about you stay home and read a book?
That sounds great. That sounds great, Jim.
I bought it to reread it.
I did too.
Got through one chapter and I love it, but I can't read anymore.
Me neither.
I'm so distracted.
I fall asleep.
I wish I did.
I think it means I'm stupid.
Yeah, that's very true. But even if you didn't.
Oh, okay. You already knew that going in.
Yeah, sure.
I bought it as well because I wanted to reread it.
Yeah, because you thought it was a book about computers.
IT? That's not that funny.
That's not funny, but how many directions to go with it?
You thought it was a book about you, but it was missing 2 letters.
Yes. Clit.
Nope.
Shit.
That's the one.
I was hoping it wouldn't be that.
Yeah, no, I bought it. It's been sitting on my bedside table for like a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm going to read it. But it's just sitting there taunting me.
I bought Malcolm Gladwell's new book.
Oh.
You don't like Malcolm Gladwell?
I don't dislike him. I don't know much about him. I hear he's a pretty smart guy, but
I love it. People who are critical of him think that he's too observational in his scientific methods. But, it's social science, and I don't really read it for science. I read it for, his interesting take on things, and then he presents cool evidence of it. You know what I mean? I think he's great. I love him. I read most of his David and Goliath book. Most.
It's a story about my life. Fighting the odds.
The hell are you talking about, man?
David and Goliath.
I know what you're talking about. You didn't fight any odds.
Fighting the odds. Power of the underdog.
You're not an underdog. You're just a guy. You're not like a Goliath, but you're not a David either. You're just in the middle.
No, it's not true. I'm an underdog fighting the man.
Why are you trying to make yourself special?
Fighting my way up from adversity.
What adversity? You're just a white guy doing comedy.
Nah, but the odds against that. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Let's go to Ryan in North Dakota. What's up, Ryan?
Hey guys, if you go on YouTube and type in Swiss mishap, there's a guy that had a hang glider accident last year where he wasn't.
You sure it wasn't about hot chocolate?
It might have been
Swiss Miss,
but I don't think so.
Get it?
He's hanging the whole time. Yeah, we've seen this.
Oh yeah, we watched this together. Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
The mug was hanging.
Yeah,
the mug was
I see
hanging.
what you did there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, gotcha. I forgot what a great game that is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's one of Chip's games,
Yeah,
right?
it's a good one. Gotcha.
It's really, it's solid.
God, this guy's just hanging. Fucking Christ.
Dumb, man.
Yeah, and a glider you can't just put right down. You have to wait until the wind takes you down.
Yeah.
What a shit heap.
It's tough.
I want to see that camera angle on his face, on his dumb face.
I would love to see that. It's the video that we watched a while ago where they start back to back and he just slides off the guy's back as soon as they leave the ground. And then he's ending up hanging by his hands, just dangling off the hang glider for the duration of the trip and somehow survives. It's crazy. It's
I mean, this guy is pretty strong to hang on. I think of so many things where I would drop.
Such grip strength.
I guess when your life truly depends on it, like you just can't hold on much longer, he's saying. But when your life depends on it,
yeah,
like literally depends on it, you just make sure you hang on. Right there, I would drop it. You're still higher than a tree.
Yeah. I mean, you're deceivingly high. Even when they're coming towards the ground, it's deceivingly high. You're coming in so fast.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to land as fast as possible that you don't have that nice sort of slow descent.
Yeah, and he just falls into. I think he hurt his leg or something.
Big deal.
Yep.
Right? I don't mind a broken leg in that scenario.
Broken legs hurt.
I don't care. I get to sit in the hospital. Everybody wants to sign my cast because I'm the guy that survived hanging off a hang glider.
Nobody wants to sign your cast.
What are you talking about? People want to blow me?
His right wrist suffered a fragmental distal radius fracture, which required surgery.
That's great. You don't think people want to sign my wrist cast?
No.
Oh, you're the guy who's hanging off the hang glider. That's so cool. Whoa.
Tell us about it.
Oh, man. Did your life flash before your eyes? Like, no, I was looking at the top of trees, trying to get off, trying to get down.
You ever hear Woody Allen's bit about when he was going to be killed and his life flashed before his eyes?
What do you see?
He's talking about going to the general store and fishing at the fishing hole.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, then I realized it's not my life. It's so funny. They're going to kill me in 2 seconds. The wrong life is flashing before my eyes. It's genius line after genius line.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Then he went and married his adopted daughter.
Yeah, I'd say it's not weird. There's
You know,
a price to pay. with that
you know,
type
but
of
don't you
lines.
wish that somebody who's that genius comedically could just be that genius comedically?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Look at Stephanie McMahon next door hanging out in a wrestling ring. That's happening right next door. How come we didn't get a wrestling ring in here?
Fox has a wrestling ring?
They got a ring downstairs.
What are you doing down in Orlando?
I will. I'll be in Orlando tomorrow. So this is WWE Premiere Week. Lots of big things. That they're on Fox News because SmackDown's premiering on Fox broadcast TV on Friday night, which is like enormous. But I'll be doing a kickoff show tomorrow night in Orlando for NXT. The TV show's on USA. The kickoff show will be on WWE Network and YouTube and all WWE social media stuff. So that'll be tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning, I'll be doing the show live from Orlando while you're here.
And how about Thursday?
Thursday, I'm just doing the show and then coming back. But because the kickoff show is at night,
you can't fly back.
No nighttime flights.
Yeah, have them get you a private. Well, see if Vince can loan you the regular wrestling plane.
Maybe I can fly back with trips.
Would you fly back with Vince if he wanted you to?
Yeah. Sam.
Yeah.
Ride with me. You got it, Vince. That's what I would say. You got it, Mr. McMahon.
And if he said, hey, do you want it? And he wanted to just bounce ideas off you?
I go, yeah, yeah, of course. I'm a good soundboard.
No, but then he wanted your input.
Yeah, I'd give some input.
And maybe the Hulkster comes out.
Oh, that's a good idea, Mr. McMahon. Here, and then here's what we would do. I try to yes and everything.
Sure.
Good idea. What if he came out with somebody? Oh, I love it, Sam. Yeah, it would be a fun time.
The Undertaker.
I wouldn't, you know what would happen? I wouldn't want the plane ride to end. I'd be really sad when the pilot came on. He's like, all right, it's time for our descent. I'd be like, let's do another loop, huh? Huh, guys? Bounce some more ideas around?
What if he gave Vince all these great ideas and then he's like, would you mind relieving the pressure?
I mean, I don't think that would happen. You just go from there to there. We're talking about wrestling, relieving the pressure.
No, but what happened is you're up that high. It's natural. Your ankles swell. Well,
I don't even think that's not even what we're talking about, Troy. We're not talking about
Sam Fellatio muffins. Sammy mouth muffins.
We're not talking about that. I don't know.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, what happens if he took a bunch of good ideas of yours?
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's...
And he's like, would you mind relieving the pressure?
Why would we go there? That's not...
Because he's a man. He has needs.
Yeah.
At that point, I'd have to quite literally just call it in the air. I'd have to, figure out the mood.
You'd be looking out the window and all of a sudden you'd hear the telltale sound of a belt buckle.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Honestly, guys, a little far-fetched.
That's probably a nice plane, too.
Oh, I'm sure it's a nice plane. They're on it all the time.
They are, right?
All the time.
Private planes are small. Like, if you're going to fly private, it's got to be a good plane.
Yeah, and it's got to be the right amount of people on the plane because you don't want an overcrowded private plane because then it's really, really feels small.
I want to see what WWE's plane looks like inside. It's probably good.
Okay, you spelled inside INSIEE.
I'm trying to type.
See, I would hate to face in the wrong direction.
Right. Like as the plane was moving, you wouldn't want your back to the direction you were going in?
No, that's pretty nice though. Fuck. Is that the plane inside?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Like a bar, snacks. Big enough to stand up in? Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd take a ride. Why not? Why not catch a ride home? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's it? All of them? You're just zipping over?
No, I think that these are just Google image
this
results.
Is like Drake's plane.
Oh, that's probably not. I like looking at private planes. I really don't want to fly private, but I want to fly on Emirates or fucking Etihad. I want to fly in one of their private cabins.
Oh, yeah. Remember when Bow Wow took a picture of a private jet on social media and then people caught him on the commercial flight? And he said he was just joking, but he wasn't joking. He got caught.
Think he was joking?
No, I don't think so. I think he got caught. And then he said he was joking. It's just a joke.
Yeah, it's a little joke. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to start a YouTube show.
You are?
Yeah. Called Planes and Such.
You know who got his own jet? Pat McAfee.
Did he?
Renting, not buying.
Where's he? Is he going crazy locations?
Yeah, because he got his gig right now. This season he's going to be there on Wednesday too. So he's doing a little bit with WWE still, but he does a daily radio show now, like regular radio that's broadcast on stations across the country. It's like a Westwood One show.
Okay.
That they also broadcast on that Days In app, which is a video thing.
Okay.
But then he also does ESPN football every Thursday. So he's got to go to the meet, and then he does an ESPN like TV shot every week too. So he's got to go to every single game every single week. So he just has his schedule where I think like...
Is he renting it or are they renting it for him? I want to know how much that is.
He's renting it, and I believe he's figured out a sponsor to pay it off.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah, no, he decided to rent it.
That's smart.
Just for comfort. But you know what they did for him? What this company Days In did for him that Sirius needs to do for us? They built him a studio in a truck. So that when he travels, they drive the truck to him, and then he just leaves his hotel and goes into the truck, and he's got this nice visual studio because it's all video too.
As opposed to finding a studio and setting it up. Yeah, that makes
and having
sense.
to do it on, I mean, it's like a, digital TV show. Speaking of that, by the way.
Yes.
This is now a digital TV show.
It is, yeah. We haven't been plugging that because...
It's new. It's brand new.
I know, but we should have been plugging yesterday, but...
We forgot.
Well, no one told us.
That's probably why we forgot.
No one reminded us.
We didn't know. But...
We have to plug the app.
We've got video content on the app now, and they're doing a great job. I mean, with what they've got to work with, I have a lot of trouble, and I think a lot of other people do, looking at myself on these videos.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah, it's not good. It's a real horror show. There's a lot going on there with the old last professional broadcaster. A lot of bad stuff. A lot of bad stuff happening.
I disagree. Let me see.
The aesthetic is not what it needs to be.
No, come on.
Your physical aesthetic?
Yes.
No. Well, there's only physical aesthetics.
The physical aesthetic of Sam Roberts.
I didn't know if you meant the aesthetic of like
no,
shots or
my aesthetic. My physical aesthetic. Face, head, body. Horrendous.
You're not happy with it.
Not happy with it.
The Johnny Carson channel, I love it.
Yeah, they're doing a Johnny Carson
I fucking
channel.
love it.
And I can't even blame the way it's shot. They don't have the material to work with.
It's just the subject's an issue.
It's a big issue. It's horrible.
And there's really, like, if you were heavy, you could lose weight. There's nothing you can do.
No, I'm actually in better shape than I've been in a long time.
I mean, I'll tell you, the beard's not helping.
I think it is.
How can recommend? Here's what's funny.
Isn't that a shame?
Recommended for you. My show doesn't come up.
Well, you don't listen to us.
Oh, it's what you listen to.
Yeah, I think it's based on what you listen to. I think because
right.
It came up on mine, like on the front page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Graham Norton. I love Graham Norton.
They did like, and they're working immediately. They got cameras in here now. By the way, I hope that old Talks Too Much Rob in there feels very threatened by this whole thing because they are really making him obsolete, aren't they?
Yep.
Because yesterday, like lickety split, by yesterday afternoon, there was a 47-minute video of Jim and I discussing our time at the Irishman premiere. It happened that morning, that afternoon, 47-minute video of us talking about our time there. And you could just watch it. It looked good. Cameras are shot great. Jim looks tremendous. He looks, like a celebrity. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing on that app, but Jim looks great. The room looks great. The lighting looks great.
How do you search for it? Let me see Jim and Sam.
Yeah, you just write Jim and Sam.
Okay.
But they have like, that's from yesterday. That's brand new.
Jim and Sam interviews for video?
They have interviews and they have clips. So the interviews are just like obviously the celebrity interviews that we've been doing. I think Kiefer Sutherland might be the most recent one.
But there's audio.
There's a whole bunch of them on there.
Audio. Where's the video? I shouldn't be doing this while we're on the air.
Well, there's a button at the top. If you open the app.
There's videos. Browse videos.
Yes. If you open the app, there's a button right at the top.
But how do you search in video?
Videos. Browse new SiriusXM videos. Do you see this?
Yes, that's right.
Browse now. You have to swipe through the Johnny Carson channel. I don't know why we're promoting the Johnny Carson channel above the fact that there's video content on the app now, but so be it. Because
It's McMahon and Howard.
Everybody's going to get the app so we can hear Johnny Carson stories, I guess.
Really get excited about new stuff.
Yep. We have video content on the app. It's been like, people have been asking for this for years.
What does Jonathan Van Ness do?
He's on Queer Eye, I think.
Oh, he's not a singer, right?
No. He's on Queer Eye, right? That's Jonathan Van Ness? That's who I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's very famous on Queer Eye, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We should break because I have to pee. I can't find us.
So on the interviews, they have, all you have to do is click SiriusXM videos and Jim and Sam comes up pretty quick.
Yeah, but you can't search Jim and Sam videos?
Sure.
How do you search in the videos?
Okay, I just clicked on search, Jim and Sam. Let's see what comes up. I'll tell you. Yeah, if you search Jim and Sam, the first thing that comes up is audio on demand. The second thing that comes up is video on demand.
Okay, we should be video first if they want to promote that.
There's
Pekkas.
No, there's no Pekkas. But in the clips, oh yeah, look at this. They have The Irishman, 47 minutes, a 24-minute clip of us talking about that story of cancel culture where the guy who wanted the beer got canceled, but then the newspaper writer got canceled and everybody. So that discussion is up there. Our conversation with Dan Soder on Shane Gillis is up there. Our chicken sandwich war conversation's up there. Jim Brewer's up there. And then that's just the clips.
Well, this is pretty good.
In the interviews.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? What are you looking at? What?
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Look at this.
Oh, yeah. That's bad.
What are you looking at? What are you guys looking at?
That's really bad.
I don't want to say.
Okay, that's just a picture of my face. That's so not helpful at all.
Yeah, Jim actually looks great.
He does look amazing.
Lighting's perfect.
All the celebrities look great, too. We got Kiefer Sutherland, Maria Menounos, Jim Gaffigan, Stone Cold Bill Hader, Sean Evans, all up there.
No, it's not Stone Cold Bill Hader. That's not his name.
There's a comma. But yeah, they're going to be updating the app, I think, every single day with new videos from the show. Rob, are you like reaching out to the video people going like, you're going to need my approval on stuff, just like doing, you know how like when...
But they do. They do need approval.
No, they do.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, when they hire a manager, when there's middle management, right? And then they hire a new manager to go between middle management and upper management. The original middle manager starts like scrambling, trying to be like, you still need me, right? I still have a purpose here, right? Are you trying to make sure that the video team knows that you are the point guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Smart.
He's,
Smart move.
Yeah, he's
Smart
fucking
move.
Nicholson seeing his files in the garbage.
Smart move. Smart move.
Nice.
Yeah. And we've established, I think, that we still need Rob videoing in here, at least for a backup for now.
Just
right?
in case, yeah.
Pretty well done, actually, the way they started off.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I'll be honest. They do a good job with this. And you can make it full screen, right?
Oh, yeah. You can put it on an Apple
There you go.
TV.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
There's an app on Apple TV, and you can watch it full res, 1080p. It's great.
That's right.
I think it's 1080p anyway. It should be.
Should be.
Yeah, they do a great job with it.
Yeah.
So we get the SiriusXM app, and you can see our videos. I think eventually that's where most of our stuff is going to go. It's just,
We just put clips out and then put the full interviews on the app. So make sure you get the app. We can even manually move these cameras, right?
No, you
okay.
can't. No.
All right.
No, don't do that. That's
you get a
not
nice
good.
little clicky noise. I love the clicky noises.
Yeah, no. That means it could be broken if you hear the clicky noise. No, there's a guy in the back who could, change it and move everying and get the
Is he back there watching now?
I believe so.
I hope he doesn't get me with my blueberries in my mouth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm going to have a meeting with him to see if we can change some of the aesthetic problems that I've been having.
I don't think he can't do anything about
Probably
that.
not.
You can shoot way back.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Can they do like a Barbara Walters would put on when they introduced HD, Barbara Walters would get that Vaseline filter.
Diane Sawyer would do that.
Yeah.
Diane
Can
Sawyer.
we get one of those Vaseline filters over the cameras pointed to me?
Yeah.
That would be a help.
But not Vaseline, smear it with shit.
Okay.
You know, like
you're not gonna be able to see through that.
girls use the soft Instagram filters.
Yeah, that would be great.
We should probably think about getting that. For
Yeah,
you.
I like that a lot. Or maybe we could just like have your voice and superimpose a bedpan.
A bedpan. What if I was like the unknown broadcaster and put the paper bag over my head?
I like that.
It could work.
Prefer plastic.
Okay. Well, I don't think that there's any way I could survive that. Or at least I think, if this is going to be a thing now where we're now part of a visual medium.
And we are.
We should have some kind of hair and makeup people here all the time for us.
They should be outside every day.
Chris Russo gets hair and makeup. He's on MLB Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need it.
They did request that we ask all the guests to take off their hats for the lighting.
For the shadows.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
But, I mean...
What did you just walk in here wearing?
Oh, shoot.
You know
You're
what?
getting a lot of
Great
trouble.
point.
Look at my hair.
Stop fixing you look like fucking Peter Gallagher from The Idolmaker. I knew that would get nothing, but that's who he looked like.
This deserves nothing.
I know.
The Idolmaker.
That's right, Cesare.
Rob wanted to give you something on that, by
No,
the way.
no, it doesn't matter.
He wanted to.
His hair looks like that. His hair like Chris Sarandon in Dog Day Afternoon.
Okay.
A little better.
A little better. We're getting there.
Yeah. So
I'll be in Orlando tomorrow. I think the kickoff show for NXT starts at 7:30 on the WWE Network and WWE social media platforms. And Jim, you're going to be out on the town this weekend, right? Out and about?
No. Stress Factory next weekend.
Next weekend.
And Denver the week after.
So you just be looking for the company of a young lady this weekend.
That's right.
Good for you. Okay, that's disgusting. We got Mark Norman coming in today.
Anybody
we got
wants their fucking cooter tended to.
Oof.
What?
That's horrible. Ow. No. Also, we got Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes coming in today. Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Very, very exciting time to be alive.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Hey, we're Cavino and Rich. We're hitting the road again, bringing the show to you.
Yeah, Boston, D.C., Charlotte, Atlanta, and Tampa.
Cavino and Rich's East Coast road trip. If you want the details, you want to come.
People are in a panic over this Joker movie. They're convinced there's going to be a real Joker after the Joker movie.
Yeah, well, here's what it is. The press is dog whistling to people that if you shoot somebody, we'll cover it.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
fucking press is literally hoping for a shooting just so they have something to talk about.
Yeah.
They're leading up to it. The press is literally building up the shooting. We think there's going to be shooters. We'd hate that, even though we'd give you a 3-page spread. They are the worst.
I was reading this article. The other guy, you remember that shooter that said he called himself the Joker?
Douchebag, yeah.
He never even called himself that.
He just painted his face that way.
He didn't paint his face that way.
Yeah, he did. James something, whatever his name was.
When
yeah.
he did the shooting?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Maybe not during the shooting, but are you sure about that?
Yeah. He just had wacky colored hair. But in one photo, it was orange. Joker didn't even have orange hair.
The old Joker, I think, didn't he? Didn't
No,
he?
it was always
Cesar
green.
Romero? Oh. James Holmes, yeah. I don't know why he got called the Joker. Joker's lab.
I think it was like a
because he dyed his hair weirdly.
and it was a misreport. It was one of those things, what I was reading anyway.
Okay.
That it was a misreport early, and people just kind of went with it.
Okay. But yeah, I'm so sick of hearing about the possible violence from a Joker movie. Just shut the fuck up.
I know
another mental patient goes and shoots somebody. It has nothing to do with the dumb movie.
I know. Although I know critics got to see it because the premiere came out. Did anybody become the Joker? Any of the critics become the Joker?
No.
Okay. That's good.
They give good reviews?
For the most part. I think some people don't like... the only negative stuff I read about it is people don't like how bleak it is.
Oh, God.
But, I mean, it's a movie
it's a
about
fucking movie, you
the
assholes.
Joker, you know? It's a movie about the villain. But it really is weird. Like, nobody became Bane after Bane. Nobody's going to become Cats after Cats. Like, no, wait, that's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly. No one can. I'm going to destroy the city, Batman.
Yeah. I mean, none of it's true. It's all nonsense.
It's all fucking nonsense.
But it's great promotion.
It's great for the movie.
It's really good
Hi,
for
Mark.
the movie. Mark, are you worried about everybody becoming the Joker when the Joker comes out?
No, I
You're
want
not.
more incels.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's
I'm joking. But he's not allowed at Aurora.
Who isn't?
The movie.
Oh, right, because of the
Are
shooting.
they really not playing the movie in Aurora? Like
because of the shooting. But
that's just building the movie up more. Banned from Aurora.
Yeah.
Because some fucking asshole.
Right.
By the way, they did play Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where there's a whole bunch of shooting in
Plus,
it.
can't you get guns in Aurora?
Good point.
Yeah, of course. And there's
that wasn't the problem.
Between then and now, there've been lots of movies with villains and with guns.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But this one's dangerous, guys. This Joker movie, people are not going to be able to tell that they're in a movie theater anymore.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get all the hubbub.
No.
He's what about like Travis Bickle? Did that cause anything?
Of course not.
Yeah, and like
an increase in taxi drivers.
Oh, no, actually, it did. John Hinckley. He shot Reagan because he was trying to save Jodie Foster the way Travis Bickle did.
Yeah.
And Bickle wanted to kill the president.
Right.
And that was what Hinckley wanted to do.
I think in
Bad
hindsight,
example.
we're all smart enough to see that Hinckley was probably a very damaged individual. That
He's
if
just
it
they
hadn't
should have
been-
executed him.
If it hadn't been Taxi Driver, it would have been something else.
Yes, exactly.
Like you're just waiting for that motivation to come.
Right.
Yes.
So the idea that,
I don't think any of it sways much. It's like the Shane Gillis thing, not to harp back on that, but
What happened with him?
he was good on SNL this week.
Yeah. He was the Asian guy. But he's I don't think that's going to cause people to hate Asians. If anything, it goes the other way. If anything, we go, hey, now we got Asian racism awareness.
Yeah, but I guess that's true, but that's a difficult argument to win because then you're rewarding the guy that
you got a point.
you can't reward him. But again, that's why you wouldn't want to go down that road probably.
Right.
Because, it's a mess.
Well, I was talking to a gal and we were going through Asian racial slurs and she didn't know any of them. And she's like, that's a slippery slope. And I'm like, well, that's a slur. And she's like, what are you talking about? So it's kind of fun. I had to let her know about all these slurs that she was using.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to
without knowing.
Without knowing.
But do you want to go out on the record at this point in time and go like, hey, I like to tell people all the racial slurs?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to know them to not use them,
That's
right?
true. I guess that's true.
It's like the legal age of fucking. You want to know it so you don't do it.
Remember when the reporter said that Jeremy Lin was showing a chink in the armor?
I remember that,
And people were like, what the fuck did you just say? And he was like, what? 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 No, I didn't. I thought that
It was one of those ones where it's like, all right, we get it. I mean, technically, you are correct.
Yeah,
come on. We get
context we understand, but I think you're trying to get away with something, aren't you?
Sometimes it's just that childish thing
Yeah.
where you want to say, no, Mom, I said buck. I said buck because it sounds like fuck. You like to get away with something.
But that's also such a different thing than like full-on violence. Like
Sure.
I've watched so many violent movies and horror movies and played so many violent video games, and I'm not even slightly desensitized to violence at all.
No.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, like real violence.
Real violence.
Yeah.
Real
Ultra
violence
violence.
is still a little bit of the ultra violence.
Uh-huh.
Like real violence is still like, oh my God, that's horrifying. I don't want that to be anywhere.
Same with real racism. I mean, how many movies have we seen?
Yeah.
It's like that Bill Burr joke where they're like, get out of the pool. Like every sport, we have to see the racist version. I mean, if you saw a guy just yell at a guy and call him the N-word.
So ugly.
Yeah,
Exactly. I take my mirror down.
Yeah, you'd be hard. But, it'd be like, holy shit, this is horrible.
Right. Yeah, it's a different.
Well, it would depend on the circumstances.
I guess you're right.
All right,
That's a
Jim.
good point.
You're also mentally stable, though.
Yeah, I know, but if you're not mentally stable, you're not mentally stable.
Yeah, no, but that
A
could
man
trigger.
who eats fucking chicken fingers
Thank
on
you,
New Year's
Jim.
Eve and fish sticks is mentally stable.
First of all, I'm not going to eat
point.
both of those things.
Two different proteins.
Yeah, why would you eat fish
You
sticks
eat one,
and
sit on the other.
They're not nearly stiff enough.
Frozen.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Little rump oven.
Warm them up.
Sammy's rump oven.
No problem. I'll toast them.
I'm so sick of I'm so sick of the debate over comedy.
I
I'm
am too.
bored with it.
It's dumb.
Here's the bottom line. If you're trying to censor another person's thoughts or speech, you're a cunt. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No matter what side you're on, no matter what your motivation is, if you're censoring another person, you're a fucking cunt.
And look, I get if you get upset, but what bugs me is the comics. the comics lashing out. You're like, come on! I've sat in a green room with you where you've said retard and all these horrible things.
Yeah, I was following not Big J, Louis J's Gomez's war with Christopher Titus.
I saw that.
Were they going back and forth?
Oh, yeah.
Who were they going back and forth?
Christopher Titus coming out strong against Shane Gillis.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
I like Chris. He's a funny comic, too. I'm disappointed.
Lewis hitting back very hard. They were going back and forth. I mean, are they still going back and forth, kind of, or is that died down?
I think it's died down. They both got kids to hug, you know.
Yeah, at some point.
At some point, but yeah. It was shock. It's just like, they always smelt it, dealt it. They always find something that you did once, and they go, well, that was 8 years ago. I've evolved. Well, maybe this is his 8 years ago. Let him evolve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you did it, were you full of rage and hate towards that group? No? Well, maybe he isn't either.
And people know that. People just want to be part of it. I'm just so sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about comedy civil war. It's so fucking boring.
It's all jerk fest. Who cares? It shouldn't be this important. We're a bunch of idiots on stage talking about our balls.
It's mostly that most of the people who start these things are these gotcha people who are on the fringes.
Yes.
They're not good enough to be a part of it.
Yes.
So they want to be in it somehow, and they want to have some effect on it. And in their way, they're having a positive effect on it because they're weeding. They give themselves the higher motive. It's just garbage. It's garbage. It's not sincere.
Right. Which is the Rocky with Ivan Drago? 3? That's 3.
Rocky 1. The original Rocky. He goes to Russia.
Bullwinkle.
That was such a good. Hey, if we don't like
That's
you,
what I'm saying.
you don't like us. It's like, oh, that's such a great.
I think everybody, the comedians, the people who censor, the sensitive people, the abrasive people, should all just get together in a room, watch the speech from the end of Rocky 3, and realize that maybe, just maybe, we have more in common than we do different.
And
what do you think of that?
To admit that eventually, if we put them in a room and talk about it long enough, they'll go, I really didn't care. I didn't care in the first place. Just let me go on with my life.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
I wanted to get it out in a tweet and then just go on and do something else.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be included in the trending topic.
Right. And I hate the entitlement of, like, there's all these comedy critics out there, like, I watched the Bill Burr special, and I must say, he made some good points. There was a few things I didn't like, but it's like, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's funny. Shut up.
But you know what? They're not doing anything wrong by saying that. And you know what? It's not even the bloggers who are the problem. And it's not the comedians who are kind of coming out from a position I don't agree with. That's the problem. They're not the ones who fired Shane.
It's the comedians.
It's the lawyers who work for NBC.
Well, that's
it's the
corporate
networks,
money shit.
but that's who fires people. Like Sharpton never fired anybody. These bloggers never fired anybody. They have no power to fire you.
Don't you think when you're a blogger and you know now, okay, we now know how lawyers will react. I know how to drum up a mob.
Yes.
I know how lawyers react to a mob. The person that drummed up the mob, knowing how the lawyers would react, does have some of the responsibility.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. Yeah. But if the lawyers didn't react that way, or if people push back fucking hard enough and the lawyers are like, whoa, no, there's more of a penalty to fire him than to not fire him, then those bloggers would lose all power. But since people aren't willing to do that,
to fight back,
it's going to keep happening.
Yeah, I mean, lawyers are lawyers are simply there to look at the bottom line. They're not being human about it. They're just going, what's financially and legally more effective for the company.
Right. So if all of a sudden they realize, wow, if we fire these guys for these stupid PC reasons only, and the backlash is people stop watching us, they wouldn't fire people. Mm-hmm. But everyone complains, how come they keep firing people? Because you guys aren't pushing back hard enough.
But it's also because everybody complaining about SNL don't watch anyway. So it's like, what are you going to keep not watching?
Right. I just don't like the idea of, like, you said this, so now you're officially a racist person. Like, you don't know me.
Exactly. First of all, I didn't say it. I wrote it anonymously.
Yes, exactly. But, like, if you made
the lack of nuance.
Yeah, if you made a kid fucking joke and all of a sudden you're just labeled a pedophile and it's 100% gospel, is that it?
Yeah.
That's all we got?
Yeah.
It's crazy to go from joke to reality in no time in between.
Yeah, the whole comedy war thing is like, oh.
I hate it.
It's so draining, and who gives a fuck?
Go write a joke, cunt.
Mark,
that's the hard part.
Do you feel like you're more of an authority figure now that you are officially comedy's upper echelon? You are in the... I saw you hanging out with the Illuminati of comedy.
Oh, yeah? Jay Leno?
Was he the Illuminati? I saw a picture. You were in L.A.
Oh,
You
yeah.
had a nice extended trip. You ended up on Joe Rogan's show. That's the first step into the Illuminati.
I'll take it.
Then, when I realized you were officially in the Illuminati, is when it's just a casual photo of Mark Norman, Jerry Seinfeld, Eddie Murphy. That's
How is Eddie? I've
That's
never met
Illuminati.
Well, by the way, I appreciate that tie-dye, but the whole thing is it's me taking a photo of the TV screen of comedians in cars getting coffee.
Is it really?
Yeah, and everybody's like, you're hanging out with these legends. I'm like, it's a photo of a TV.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Troy,
Pull it up.
Pull it up. I gotta see it. Pull it up,
My
Troy.
name is in the background. That was the
Oh.
joke. My name is on the marquee, Normand.
Dude, I swear to God, I looked at it a couple times. I'm like, good for Mark. He's doing it.
I
He is
appreciate
really
the
doing
love
it out
there.
there. yeah, I was so
that's
happy
my
for
first
you.
question. I've never met Eddie. I was like, oh, what's he like?
So you did not
He's
hang out with
gay.
Eddie Murphy?
He's gay in real life. No, it's just a photo with my name in the back, so that's why I put it up as a joke. But
So
everybody
you didn't
bought
even
it.
you didn't even mean for it to look like you were with them.
No,
you didn't
not at all. I
realize.
was like, this is obviously, there it is, the middle. See, my name is on the marquee, so I said, oh, that's funny.
I thought you were taking a photo of him.
No.
Yeah, and it says just
Joe List was hanging out with them too.
Yeah, look
it
at that.
says just hanging with some pals in La La Land. I love L.A. You were in L.A. The idea, and these two are clearly in L.A. because they're at the Hollywood Improv.
What's Jerry looking for? A razor? He didn't shave.
Yeah,
I don't like seeing Jerry unshaven.
I don't mind it.
Bothers me.
He's loose.
You're friends with Jerry. Like, there's a lot here.
I
that
thought it was
makes
so obvious.
Yeah,
Have you
it
hung
wasn't
out
obvious
again?
at all.
Yes, we did. I don't want to get too into it because I feel like I'm blowing my load on his back here. Too much.
now there's an actual relationship building. You can't get into it because then it's like, what is this here?
I feel like I'm banging a supermodel every now and then. I go and talk about it for 20 minutes on every radio show, and she's gonna be like, "All right, stop telling people about my labia."
Right. Jerry doesn't want you talking about his labia everywhere you go.
Yeah, I assume. But I also think he's in a tower and he's getting blown by 6 midgets. So who knows what's happening?
Right. But I get that because he's going to sit there going like, are we hanging out or is this material?
Right. Yes.
Is this
exactly.
fodder?
Right.
Yeah, Potter, we call it in the business.
But no Eddie Murphy.
No Eddie Murphy.
That's a crying shame.
One day.
You'll get there.
I wonder what his stand-up's going to be like. He's coming back and doing, he's obviously for a Netflix special for $70 million, of course, or whatever he's getting. He might be doing a couple, but I'm amazed he's doing it. They talked him into it, and I want to know what his new act is going to be like. He'll probably be working out in LA or in the clubs.
Yeah.
He'll do a small tour. He'll probably do the thing that Chappelle does with the phones. But again,
Lock him in the bags.
Yeah, there's only so much you can protect from.
I wish venues would just kind of do that.
Oh, it'd be great.
Lock phones in bags.
Well, they will, but it's expensive. Someone told me it's $3 a phone because of the package that comes with it. And that,
and
you
can
do a
only
4,500 seat, that's $12,000. I mean, that's a lot of money.
You can only use them once?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
'cause
sure.
They rip. It's like it's over.
Oh,
once
I
you
see.
Unseal it, but they should just make it a zippy or something.
That squeeze it open.
Yeah, but I think you lock the end. I don't know.
I know there's got to be a better. This is one step. There'll be a better way to do it.
Well, did you see Murphy apologized for his?
Did he apologize or address it?
I think
I heard him address
When
it.
did Eddie Murphy
Because
apologize?
they were giving him shit about his
Couple
gay
days.
jokes years ago.
Well, it's clearly a publicist going, look, if you're coming back out there, you better get ahead of this and then do stand up.
Because they're gonna say,
I mean-
"What about your jokes from 30 years ago?"
To be fair, every conversation that we've had about any
true.
comic, people, whether they're for or against it, will bring up, Eddie Murphy was doing this. Eddie Murphy was
Well,
on
it's 'cause of
SNL.
SNL.
Eddie Murphy
That's
was...
only because of Shane. People talk about Eddie. Because then people are like, "Well, look what Eddie did with
People
this."
did it for, anytime you bring up somebody on Netflix, people bring up Eddie Murphy's old specials.
Interesting.
They
Yes.
love bringing up that Eddie Murphy used bad language,
Well, I
so
love
I don't blame
He's
him for getting in
22.
front
First of all,
of
he's
it.
22. Second
Yeah.
of all, who gives a fuck?
Well, the
It was
Twitter
funny.
sphere is like, look, see what a good guy. He can evolve. People can evolve. Shut up, you comics. You're like, well, can I do that? Can I say fag for
No.
16 years
We
and then
didn't-
say it sorry 30 years later? Is that allowed? Is that an option?
We didn't like you before this, so no.
That's a good point.
No.
That's a good point.
That's like Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
Apparently, Justin Trudeau, Canada's prime minister, the evidence that I've looked at has led me to believe that this man spent a period of his life wearing blackface more often than he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was just
Justin Jolson.
constantly in blackface.
Fucking nonstop.
Yeah.
He can't get out of it.
He's his
No.
hand painted like he was committed.
His legs.
Look at this
There was
photo.
a bulge in his pants. Look at the bulge in his pants.
There's a video.
Wow, that's hot.
He packed a bulge in his pants.
Yeah.
for the joke.
Yeah.
And he wore jeans with holes in them so he could
Is that
paint
a
his
wig?
legs black. Yeah,
That's
he's got
a
an
wig,
afro
right?
wig on.
Wow, Soul Man.
He painted his legs black. Who puts blackface on their legs?
You know what, though? Soul Man's a good point. That shows you
the changes.
Anyone that wants to say that blackface has been evil, and historically it was, but look at Soul Man. That was a good-natured comedy about a guy getting into Harvard.
Black people hated Soul Man.
Doesn't matter. Culturally, it was accepted.
That's because
it was accepted culturally. It wasn't a sin in the eyes of it. People didn't go, "Oh my God, you're a racist." For
black people, did
they didn't think the actor was a racist?
They
might
didn't have voices then. I mean, that's the whole point of all this.
I don't believe
that
they didn't
opinion
have
was
voices
getting
then.
heard because
I don't believe that.
Soul Man has been looked at as horrible for a long time.
I've never heard that, and I don't believe black people didn't have voices then. I don't believe they didn't have it and the ability to say they
that's
didn't
what this
like
whole
it.
thing is about. They had the ability, but people weren't listening to it.
I remember when the movie came out. I don't remember anybody having an issue with it.
That's the point.
Black folk?
What's that?
Were you around?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, of course.
But the media, I mean, this wasn't kind of in vogue to talk about.
But how do you know that people were saying it back then? Because I don't remember hearing it back then.
Because in my since I found out about Soul Man, what year did Soul Man come out? 86 or something like that?
Yeah.
I've never known it not to have a huge group of people going like, this was horrible when it came out. It's always been horrible.
But when it came out, it wasn't seen as horrible by the culture. Hollywood, they wouldn't have promoted it that way if there was a problem with it. Because again, they would have, they would just back off from the controversy.
And didn't Gene Wilder do a blackface as well?
With Pryor in
earlier.
Silver Streak, and I think that was 77.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things. Now they're gonna go back and judge it harshly. But when it came out, it was I don't remember it being seen as racist by people. I don't remember
Soul Man has
culturally
been judged very harshly for a very long time.
maybe historically, but in the moment it wasn't. I remember because I was like 86. I was fucking 18, and
by the way,
60, 70, 88. I was 18 when it came out. Nobody was running around going, it was just a fucking comedy movie, but this guy's trying to get in. So I can understand how Justin Trudeau at a certain time,
it wasn't in the 80s that he was doing
could do something stupid and go, this is not as racist as it will be judged, and without racist intentions.
Right.
I could see him doing it without
progressive, and he wasn't doing it in 86.
Well, that shows you how fake the progressives are when it comes to not recognizing that you can do things and not have racism in your heart.
Here.
That's how
I'm
fake
not saying
progressives have become.
I'm not saying he was racist, by the way.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's
But I'm
probably
saying
not.
he knew. Of course, he knew better then what the perception of this is.
He was young.
I don't know about that,
But he was young.
dude.
But he wasn't that. He was an adult. Like he was a teacher,
In
not a student.
86 and 87 or the 90s or when I first started comedy, I wouldn't have thought blackface was such. I would have known, like, if you do it in such a degrading and horrible way, I would have looked at it like, hey, if you're doing stuff from like the 40s or whatever, it's bad. Or if you're doing it to be degrading. But back then, I would have done something as a goof and wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Same here.
It never happened, but it was like, it wouldn't have scared me to do it back then at all.
But no, I totally get that. But we're not talking about the 80s with
Or
Justin
even
Trudeau.
1990, 91. What was the early 90s, right?
I don't even know if it was.
No, it was.
I think it was a lot later than that.
Even if it was later, I still don't think he did.
I mean, I think you're talking about the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I think so.
And you're talking about a guy who's not a comedian. You're talking about a guy who's on the road of being a progressive prime minister of Canada.
But all right, how about Mark in Philadelphia? This is also a valid point.
Uh-oh.
What's going on, Mark?
Hey, what's up, guys? I love you, man.
Hey, bud. I never throw the old ones out. I just get a little old.
Friends.
He's such a. Went to a teacher party, 10, and nominated for nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Wow.
So that's 2009. So let's not pretend that Justin Trudeau couldn't have done it without ill intent, and not when culture doesn't always look at it like that.
No, but he knew it was.
Intent is out now.
But I'm saying, like,
but he knew perception is the point.
But
If
he
you
might
know,
not have. He went to a teacher party. He went to a party as a teacher.
He didn't know. Here's what he didn't know: that it would leave the room.
But even leaving the room, like, if you're a teacher and you're going to other teachers, I don't think that you're going to do something that they're all going to see as racist and horrible.
I think
it's funny that he's nailed because I heard he's such a progressive and he's like he doesn't stick up for other people who've had these controversies. So it's like, that's what you get, dummy. But
I think he didn't know it was going to leave the room because he knew that he was in a room of friends and friends would understand his intentions. But he would absolutely know what the perception would be if it left the room. He couldn't have been ignorant to it. It
then
doesn't
why
make
would he
any
let
sense.
people take photos? I mean, that is before Twitter.
Because he didn't know people were taking photos. He thinks it's just going to be like, oh, we're going to put this on the fridge.
But you don't think, first of all, you don't think it's going to be, you don't think you're going to be the prime minister.
You don't.
And you don't think it's going to be a life-changing thing.
Exactly.
Sometimes you think like, oh, I do something. You don't realize that the culture is going to change and 20 years from now, people are going to want to execute you for that. Whereas 8 years after you do it, somebody will be nominated for an Oscar for doing it. So there's no consistency in the reaction to it.
Do you think he knew in the back of his head, like,
oh my
there
God,
are
yeah.
so many photos of me.
But that's why guys like this are annoying because he never came out and defended anybody else and said, look, I've done stupid things.
Yes.
We've all done stupid things.
Human.
Like, hey, just so you know, before we start throwing stones at him, there's infinity photos of me looking like this.
Right.
And when I say infinity, I mean countless.
Yeah, and all the progressives talk about is compassion. But where's the compassion for being a young idiot?
There's zero compassion and
That's right.
zero
That's a good point.
forgiveness.
I have a
Zero.
point.
How about Mark in Canada? He's right.
Another Mark?
I love
yes.
when they go back and look at Twitter and like even they're like look what he said when he was 14. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
14?
like the beer kid.
16 years old.
It's an unforgiving culture. Yes, Mark.
What's going on, Mark?
Yeah, there was a lady that was doing, he was holding a rally in Quebec, and she asked about these illegal immigrants coming across.
Did you laugh the way he said about just now?
I love
Yeah, it's funny, right?
Sorry, Mark.
That's all right.
So nice.
Whenever she asked about that, he just started yelling that she was a racist, had her removed and whatnot. And now the pictures have come out. He's still pursuing with the having her charged as a racist.
Yeah, that's
and
what
he's sticking right by it.
That's what your racism has no place here. That's where, in at least for progressive, this is where this fucking phoniness of this. I'm such a progressive thinker, and you forget like the subtlety of like. Of being human, and that gasser is exactly what I needed to shut me up.
Hey.
That was the button on it, wasn't it?
I feel like when I was a kid, it was, hey, nobody's perfect. And now it's, hey, if you're not perfect, we'll find out and ruin you.
And yet none of us are perfect, and we just hope that you don't find out we are.
Yes.
And we will throw you under the bus, and while you're being run over.
If I can distract you with how imperfect you are, you won't have time to look up my stuff.
Right.
But what nobody knows is like the news cycle moves so fast. Of course they're going to look up your stuff.
Yeah, Noam had a great point, the Comedy Cellar owner. He said when the whole Louis thing was getting crazy and he was coming by a lot, they were like, this is crazy. And Noam's like, I hired a ex-rapist who's just got out of prison to be in the kitchen. And everybody's like, wow, what a great guy. You're so open-minded, hiring this guy who did this and that and raped people, and now he's working in the kitchen and no one will hire him, and you did. So compassionate. But then when he gives Louis a spot, they're like, oh, you're evil. This guy was a rapist. And he went to jail, and this guy jerked it.
Yeah, but you know what? He went to jail, and he proved to me, because he proved to me he was sorry.
I guess.
Louis can't just say he's sorry. Through his actions, he needs to prove it to me.
How about this point? This is a Bill Burr original.
Yeah.
It's weird
That's
that...
being sarcastic, by the way, clearly.
Yes.
I hope people picked up on that.
We got it from the sweater. But it's weird that, like, Shane Gillis, they're like, okay, well, you're in trouble, so you can't have SNL, but you can still do stand-up. But with Louis, they're like, okay, you're in trouble, but you can't do stand-up, because that's going well. It's weird they take the thing away that you like the most.
Because there's no consistency.
Right.
It's just an unforgiving punishment. It's punitive, and it's all about getting you and punishing you. And it doesn't matter what you're doing or whatever it is they can get you with and hurt you with. Like Louis, he lost everything and or 35 million, and they're like, okay, and then he's like, fuck it, I'll just do stand up. No, you won't.
Right. There's because Louis can go and make millions doing stand up.
Exactly.
Yeah. But so you can't do that. But Shane can't make millions right now.
Right.
Yet doing stand up. So okay, he could do that.
But eventually, if he blows up,
well, then we'll go back to
they'll
it.
They'll come back to that. It's just fascinating.
It's about punishment. That's all it's about is punishment, and that's where they need to be honest about how much they enjoy punishing.
It would be nice. That just
It'll
acknowledge
never happen. Never happen.
Does anybody know?
You're right, but it would never happen.
No, it's not gonna.
I love
It's
the,
not.
the definitive. It'll
But
never
you know
happen.
that it won't because
I
it feels
know.
good. It feels people won't
feels
admit
good.
it.
But it's such an ugly thing to admit. People will never do it.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Everything's ugly. The whole thing's ugly.
But they'll never. You never want to admit your culpability in it. You know what I
Sure,
mean? Like
sure.
especially when you're the good guy.
Yes.
I'm the one who's fighting against you. I'm the good guy. I'm not going to admit I did
Right.
anything wrong.
That's why it's weird when they call you racist and you go, actually, my girlfriend's black. And they go, damn it.
Doesn't
Like,
even
wait,
matter though. Doesn't.
But shouldn't you be happy I'm not a racist? I'm the worst thing ever in your mind. And then I prove to you I'm not. And you go, shit, I had you. You should be going, oh, great. All right, you got a black girl. Okay, good.
Or you
should
reach
be
out to the
happy.
girlfriend and go like, really? Are you really accepting of this?
Wow.
And now the girlfriend is in trouble. And,
That too.
Yeah.
Alan in Montreal.
Montreal.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hello,
What's up,
Alan?
Alan?
French or English, pick a side.
I just both. I just wanted to say that we have to remember is like Justin Trudeau is from one of the wealthiest families in Montreal. You know, his father was
did not
Prime
know
Minister of Canada. His father was Prime Minister of Canada. He probably grew up in a culture of affluence, sort of like almost like a frat boy. He probably had no clue what was going on. He was coddled, protected. He, I guess some people call it affluenza.
Oh, yes.
I've heard that.
I like
When
it.
you're
Living a very
so
sheltered life.
I like
Exactly.
it.
So honestly, I think that he took these pictures. He thought like, well, I can do whatever I want. This is like not even, this is never going to surface. Or if it does, no big deal. My
Or
dad
not
was Prime Minister
thinking-
of Canada.
Not thinking it was that big a deal. Like thinking it was
Exactly.
something that was, it's innocent fun. I know I'm not a racist. People who know me know I'm not a racist.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Because you're living in this thing of we're just living with among each other. You're not afraid of it getting out. You don't see how it will. Imagine if there was a technology in a few years, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, where private
it's fine.
chats we've had, all of a sudden technology can go back and grab that energy and pull it back. It's something you never see coming. So let's just say all private conversations you've had in cars through this amazing technology can go back and somehow pull them back like radio waves
Yikes.
and replay your conversations publicly with a technology that you never saw coming. First of all,
Exactly.
none of us
And-
would survive, but that's kind of like what Twitter is with your old stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
And I think he was just having, like frat boy fun, and he never thought of the consequences. But by the way, I'm a young, I consider myself a young progressive.
Same.
I never liked Justin Trudeau, and I think a lot of young progressives in Canada, honestly, we don't like Justin Trudeau.
Phony.
We know where he comes from. He just comes from, one
How
of
is-
the wealthiest families in Canada.
How is
He's
this
so
affecting
handsome.
him in Canada? How is it going for him up there? Is it making it tougher? Because you guys are in the middle of an election, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's been screwing up a lot. But there was a headline in the paper the other day. It was something like Trudeau's blackface received by Canadians with a big meh. Like, honestly, I don't think we care.
Wow.
Fair, and honestly, you
Most
probably
Canadians
shouldn't.
don't care.
No, he's
Yeah.
a kid or a young person.
He did something stupid, even as a teacher. It's like, the guy's not a racist, but that should point
The
out to people.
hypocrisy is the problem, though.
Absolutely. And that should point out to people that you don't have to be a racist to do dumb things that are perceived as racist.
Yeah, and let's hear from some black folk. What do they think? It's all these whiteys hawking and yakking. Let's hear from the blacks.
Oh, there are no black people in Canada.
That's actually a great point.
Good point.
Thank you very much, Alan.
What about hockey? Excuse me.
You all right, Mark?
Yeah, a little semen.
The fact that you're pretending to cough onto this juice. Old Gullet Norman.
Goes down smooth, doesn't
Oh,
it?
you bet it does. Like a fucking, like an aged wine.
Yeah, they call me Old Velvet Throat. That was Roy Orbison's nickname.
Was it?
Velvet Throat, yeah.
Let's go to Rob in Virginia. What's up, Rob?
Robbie.
Hey, what up, Sam? What up, Mark? Jim?
Hey, buddy.
All day. Yeah. I'm Jim, I think you're wrong, man. This blackface, I'm black.
I knew it.
I mean, it's never been cool. It's never been cool. From my perspective, I think, like, back in the day, you just have to look at the history here in this country. And, I mean, that's what you have to weigh. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. I mean, I get your point. I know intent, but at the same time, I mean, you have to be sensitive, I think, to certain things. I mean, you've brought it up yourself, with how this country will never get over slavery until, we're like a few generations removed. So at this point in time, I mean, it is what it is.
Then what I would like, Rob, and maybe you're right. First of all, does Canada have the same history with blackface we do here, and with slavery that we do here? So if they don't have the same history with blackface, why is it a problem?
They do have issues with racism, and honestly, they do have a thing with blackface. You should go back and do your research on this.
Well, that's why I'm asking. I mean, I obviously don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Hostile.
I'm sorry, Jim. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
But I'm just saying, like, they have history with blackface. I mean, there's North America. I mean, let's be real here.
Okay, then as performers, I can only speak as performers. So should black people be able to do whiteface in films?
You know what? No. I mean, honestly, no, they shouldn't.
Here's why I'm asking.
That's not cool either.
Here's why, even though there's no history of that being race, I understand the total difference. What I would like is for all these little things, somebody put it in fucking writing. And the reason I'm saying that is because people's jobs are being affected. So it shouldn't be this vague, well, if it affects this group, if you're that race, you can say it. If you're this gender, it's okay. Only if he gets mad or they get mad or she gets mad. Everything's like smoke. It's just drifting in and out.
You can put blackface in writing, though. I mean, people know you can't wear blackface.
Okay, so is it you cannot wear blackface? Nobody who's white can wear blackface. No one can wear blackface. No one can wear a face paint that is an opposite race. Put it in motherfucking writing, and everyone will abide by it.
But then you got the Tropic Thunder, and it throws a whole wrench in the gears.
But no, but I'm saying because people's jobs are affected, it should be in writing, because this is not just people being scolded. Guys like Shane were fired from SNL. So there should be some kind of things written, not just vague, well, I guess if it gets bad. Do you understand what I mean?
No, I completely understand. And I agree with you with the Shane Ellis thing. I mean, I get it. But at the same time, I get jokes. Like, I've been listening to you guys since I was fucking 16. I'm 37 now.
Wow.
So, I mean,
scary.
You're
the one.
Yeah, I am the one. I mean, honestly, I don't really give that much of a fuck.
Whoa.
But at the same time, it's like,
I hear you.
I mean, I don't. I thought that shit was funny, but I also think, everyone's different, and at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes you just got to look at things, in a more binary fashion. I don't know. I mean, I get your point, but I also think that putting shit in writing thing is a little unrealistic.
Why?
Is it gonna be a law?
No.
You put it in writing. There's no laws. I mean, it's like it doesn't mean anything.
It's a policy.
I don't mean I don't mean necessarily a law, but like with certain harassment things, it's fairly defined. Like black men and Asian men have the same set of rules at work. You can't walk over and touch a woman inappropriately. Women have the same set of rules. Like, I guess the vagueness is who complains, but there is a certain standard that people say, okay, no one of either gender or race can do this. This is a behavior that won't be tolerated. You can't grab somebody's ass at work if they object, no matter what your race is, no matter what your gender is. You can't do it. So that's what I'm talking about.
Jimmy, I work in HR.
Wow.
I'm a
Oh boy,
manager.
what a
So
narc!
You cannot. Listen. I'm not a narc. Nigger. You can't say nigger.
Whoa.
You can't say cheat. You can't say fucking Jew, whatever the fuck.
Right.
You can't say that at work.
Apparently you can.
At any point, you can't say it amongst. I mean, black people can't say that shit amongst themselves. White people can't say that shit amongst themselves. It's just put upon. So, I mean, honestly, it is put in writing at work for the most part. I don't know how it is at Sirius XM. I mean, I know you guys are entertainment, so, I mean, you pretty much say what you want. And honestly, just like, again, I'm a huge fan. I mean, giant fan. I fucking love you guys. Except Sam. Like, Sam, you're a little piece of shit.
I get that.
I appreciate that.
I mean, I fuck with your sneaker game sometimes, but...
I was hoping there was something.
Well, honestly, no, I'm kidding.
Wow,
Well,
Trudeau
I mean,
was
honestly,
29 when he did
I mean,
that.
this HR shit is, I'm telling you, like, at work, you can't do these things.
But Rob,
I mean, it's all-
29's pretty old. What are you doing? Yeah.
Rob, you're probably right. You're probably right. But do you know what I mean? Like, again, it's not just about Shane. It's about we allow certain people to say certain things, and when they get in trouble, it's vague and it's inconsistent. So it's like everybody, like at your job, Whatever it is you do, if you're in HR, you know if someone comes to a complaint and they have a recording of someone dropping the N-bomb or of saying something horrible or of saying cunt at another employee, regardless of gender or race, that person is more than likely going to be fired without question. So there's one set of rules. That's all people ask for, is a consistent set of rules.
That's true. I think the rules are pretty consistent.
But they're not. They're completely inconsistent.
Well, the Shane Ellis thing is a problem for me because honestly, you don't know the context of what that guy was saying. Yeah. You didn't hear the whole, I didn't hear the whole podcast. I don't know what the fuck he was saying. Like, I listen to Come Town. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say terrible shit.
Filthy.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, exactly. So it's like, fuck it. I mean, they say terrible. I get the context of jokes. I get it. You know what I mean? But I don't know, like, these random
so funny, the guy working in HR is just listening to Come Town in his downtime.
Well, I think you got to cut it. You got to overcompensate.
Yeah.
I have an office. I listen to Come Town in my office.
I love it.
It is what it is. So, I'm not one of these, rah-rah black dudes.
Sure.
I'm super liberal. I'm liberal as fuck. At the same time, I want people to say what they want to say. I mean, I like this era because, I can see racism, like, it's completely on their sleeves at the time.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know. I mean, I think for like random people, for politicians, like niggas like that, they can't be doing
I hear
that.
you.
I don't give a fuck who it is.
I'm with you on that.
Thank you, Rob.
I'm with you.
I don't give it. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Rob.
Aside from Jim, he's got good taste in comedy.
Richard in Miami. It always, I feel so bad for this guy because it always goes back to him. But what's going on, Richard?
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
No, I was just bringing up the whole Ted Danson.
It always goes back to Ted Danson.
That was when when blackface. That was the first time there was a public outcry about it. Was this?
And that was like blackface. That was like white, big lips, and the whole thing. Now this
Do you think he's embarrassed by that photo?
This was what, 92?
Because that was minstrel blackface.
Minstrel show. White
that was
gloves,
white
blackface.
lips. And they were trying to make a point about it. Like, they weren't even being...
It was when he was dating Whoopi.
What was this? Yes.
Is it a Friars Club roast, I believe? Is 92, is that the correct year?
It says 93.
93, okay. And Ted Danson did show up and used the N-word.
More than a dozen times.
Many, many times.
But again, Ted's not a racist.
No, he just had poor judgment.
He did something dumb.
Poor
happened.
judgment.
And in the moment, he didn't think it would be that dumb because Whoopi co-signed it and he agreed to do it. And they're both in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So neither of them realized it was dumb until they did it. It's dumb in hindsight. But when they did it, they didn't think it was dumb or they wouldn't have done it.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
We're human. We make mistakes.
Thank you, Richard.
And I think it helps if you got a black person next to you. Like, look at
Didn't help Ted.
Tropic. Well, that's true. But Tropic Thunder, he's talking. There's a black co-star, and that helps.
Yeah, and I think pointing out, like we said, what you're doing, like having characters in the movie go, you can't do this. You shouldn't be doing this. Yeah.
If you're aware it's ridiculous, it makes it less harsh.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the 40 too, and fried chicken.
I mean,
wow.
Is this Howard? No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Howard. Okay.
I don't know an old bit.
I don't know why you bring that up.
Who cares? It's an old bit. It's like a bit making fun of something that happened.
Yeah. Yikes. How'd we get on blackface?
What's that?
The
How'd
Trudeau.
we get onto this? Oh, Trudeau.
Trudeau has made it so that we all have to talk about it again.
Yeah.
All those progressive politicians.
I forgot all about Ted Danson. Remember we asked Whoopi about that on the radio and she hung up on us.
Yes. You know what's a great Ted Danson story? When we were at the after party for the premiere of The Irishman, a man walked by and Jim went, "Oh, that's Ted Danson." And he started walking towards him. Yeah. And I said to myself, internally, that man doesn't even look like Ted Danson.
From the side he did. He walked by quickly.
I really hope that Jim tries to get a photo. And unfortunately, Jim did realize, like, he came back and he was like, "Oh, that wasn't."
I wasn't going to get a photo.
Ted Danson.
I've worked with him, so I was going to say hello. Like, I don't know if I think he'd remember the scene we did.
It would have been awesome if you were like, Ted. I thought you were someone else.
Sorry.
Sorry.
And Chris in New Jersey.
What's up? Chris. Hang on. Sorry, bud. Hey, bud.
Good morning. Hey, a couple of things that are bothering me. First, I don't appreciate the false advertising for Trudeau putting a bulge in his pants. I'd be really upset.
Yeah, I'm sure his wife is too. God damn it, that's the video that got me. That was his dating profile video.
Second thing is, all this blackface. Like, my thing is, like with this blackface, any face, like we got a president doing orange face. Like, as long as somebody doesn't do harm, to you, they don't put their hands on you. Like, who cares? Like, look at Chappelle. He's very known for doing his white impressions, doing a white face.
Yep.
Eddie Murphy doing Coming to America, doing white face as a Jewish person.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody talks about that. Who cares? As long as nobody hurts anybody, do what the fuck you want. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
You're shouting,
This country is becoming the biggest bitch in the world.
Chris, this
like,
is
everybody's like,
Okay, thank you, Chris. You're shouting. It's
but he's
have a good day. Bye.
He's right. He's right.
Chris is right. And
very
but here's
loud.
where you want it put in writing. I have no problem with Chappelle doing those. He's
But
funny.
who's
Or
going to write
Eddie
it?
Murphy or anybody. Every company who can possibly fire you. How
Oh
about
my
it's in their
gosh.
things? How about they have the fucking ball? I said this to Tom Chiasano in 2008 in a fucking in a meeting with CBS, the head lawyers, and whoever it was that took over CBS Radio at the time. I was with Opie, Anthony, and myself, and we were talking about joking and slurs and accents. And again, they said you cannot do Asian accents. That was the big thing at the time. Was Asian
really?
accents. Can't do them. They'll dump out of them. And I said, what about, and I named a comedian, we were playing ads for his show in which he did an Asian accent.
Oh.
And he's got a partial Asian heritage.
Okay.
And Tom said, and I'll never forget this, he goes, yeah, but he's part Asian. I'm like, well, so what? He goes, yeah, but it's like, he goes, I'm Irish. My Irish brothers can say things to me that other people can't. It's like brothers fight, whatever he said. And I go, fine. Would you put that in writing? Because what happens is if we do it wrong, we're fired and it's not in writing. And it's not unreasonable to want that shit in writing. I mean, if you're going to fucking fire me, like you're going to tell me how much money I'm making, what time I have to be here. If that's a fireable offense, then have the fucking balls to write. If you're black, you can do whiteface. We're okay with that. We're not okay if you're white and do blackface. Like, get some fucking lawyer to put that in writing.
Couldn't he just say, hey, Jim, you can't do an Asian accent? And then when you go, yeah, but he can, then he could just say, yeah, I said you can't.
Then put it in writing.
You can't do it.
Put it in writing. That's what the problem is, the lack of honesty behind it. Everyone's just kind of hiding and going, well, no, it's offensive. What about this? Yeah, but that, write it down. How fucking hard is that? If you believe in it and you think it's right, put it in writing. I mean, that's not crazy to say that. Carlin's 7 dirty words. No one can say them.
FCC.
No one can say them.
Right.
No one white, no one black, male, female. No one can say shit, piss, fuck, cunt,
yeah,
cuss.
you're right.
No one.
It's a good point.
We all got it. The rules were there. Every person. The N-word's terrible. Fine. Make it a crime. No one can use it. Don't. This one can. He's an artist. You're not enough of an artist. Your art allows it. This art doesn't allow it.
You're half Filipino.
Exactly. It's okay or it's not okay. That's it.
There you go. Well,
And if you want 2 sets of rules, say it. Say I want 2 sets of rules.
Asians are having a moment, and I think that plays into it. People disregard that, but like the Gillis thing came out, it's almost like Louis. Louis jerked off 12 years ago, but now it's the Me Too hashtag, so they're going to come back with all of it. Same with the Asians. Gillis said an Asian slur the same day, or it got pulled up the same day. There's an Asian hired finally for SNL.
Yep.
Crazy Rich Asians is number 1. Andrew Yang's running for the presidency. Ali Wong, Aquafina. The list goes on.
So you're saying if you're going to be racist, timing counts?
Yes.
I see. I see. It's a good lesson to learn.
I'm just saying we got to remember that, like, same with Me Too. All that shit came back up because it was the time to bring it up. And now I feel like Asians are having a hot moment. About time. Big fan. But that plays in. I mean, it was black belt canceling, really, when you think about it, because they pulled up a chink word next to the face of an Asian hire, the first Asian hire.
Yes.
It's pretty brilliant.
By the way, isn't that funny that, like, Shane is this terrible person for making those inappropriate jokes, and it's yet they've never had an Asian cast member in 40 years.
Pretty well played. Nice little...
I don't think it was purposeful, but it's like... Maybe that put the pressure on them to let him go. No, I don't think they would do that on purpose. I don't think they wanted that headache.
I think they're smart.
Nobody wants that headache.
No, they don't want
That's
to
a
hire
fucking
and fire
headache.
somebody.
Yeah, that's a headache.
Gets the, what is that? Any press is good press.
No, look at Shane got press. That's his press hurt him. Like, it's not always good.
I think he's selling out.
I think he's actually going to be, in the long run, better off.
I think so, too.
Do you know the name of the Asian... Do you know the name of the cast member who's the new...
Bowen Yang?
I was asking if anybody didn't know. I don't know his name.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm saying I don't know his name, though.
All right.
Do you know who the woman is that they hired?
Hold on. She's good at impressions.
I'm sure she's great.
She does a good Marianne Williamson.
But saying she did...
Chloe!
I'm saying she didn't... None of them got the press. Like, literally, This woman, I'm sure is very funny.
That's
and
true.
Bowen Yang,
Very funny.
they're mentioned as an aside
Yes.
to the naughty boy.
Right. He got more than them.
It's crazy.
And they're the winners.
Yeah, the Asian cast member, no one is giving a fuck.
But they get to go do SNL.
But don't
But I'm just saying, what will make you big right now? If you had gigs and you put Bowen Yang selling tickets and Shane Gillis
is selling
a
more
lot
tickets.
more tickets.
But that's just how we're wired too. Like Pete Davidson's been on the show for 38 years, but if he has, if he has an OD or something, that's going to get more coverage than his best sketch.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. Scandal is bigger than talent.
But that's also because he's not on a show all that much.
Well, all right.
No, but he hasn't been on for 38 years.
I'm joking. He's not even 38 years old. He's like 21 or whatever.
Just deconstructing Mark's jokes.
Exactly. He's not even that old.
Mark, that's physically impossible.
What do you think?
know?
Like their junior year? He didn't join them.
That doesn't make sense.
But
what you
Andrew
said.
Yang has got the right idea. He said, let me sit down with the guy and then work it out. It's a teachable moment.
I have to tell you, Mark Norman, I made fun of your Yang gang.
Thank you.
I like the Yang gang.
Love the Yang.
I'll tell you two things. Number one, the fact that he said, let's just sit down with Shane and talk.
And they did, by the way.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Number two, the more I think about it, he's the only candidate, bless you, by the way.
Thank you. Praise Allah.
Talking about robots.
Of course.
Because he's smart. And his idea, I have been saying this for years, robots are absolutely going to take away jobs, and there is absolutely no plan. The whole idea of everybody whose job is taken away, they can just build robots. I'm sure, cashiers and parking lot attendants can build robots.
Right.
Andrew Yang's idea to just send everybody $1,000? Perfect!
I think it's a terrible idea.
I don't know about that idea.
And you know what they're going to do? Spend it.
Yeah, I mean,
it goes
most
right back
people
into
will.
the system.
Should be a debit card, but yeah, that you can use for most.
I mean, they're not
things.
going to buy drugs. There'll be a few people that buy drugs, but when...
What? They're all going to buy drugs.
No, when
That's
Bush...
what I did when I got Katrina money. We bought a poker table.
So why not just have a debit card where you can use it for almost anything you want?
Like an EBT card?
Yes.
Yeah, where you can use it within
booze.
reason. Or even if you want to buy booze, you can. It's still back into the economy. It's legal. I don't care about that.
All right.
When they sent out...
Shouldn't be cash, is what you're saying. Right.
When they sent out checks just to restart the economy a little bit, when I think it was George Bush or whoever sent out checks to everybody got them. Everybody just spent them. It's free money. It's great.
All right, but did you see his old photos when he was like a Slipknot weirdo?
Andrew Yang was into Slipknot?
Check it out. Pull it
up, Troy. Let's go. What are we waiting for?
Give it a goog.
If Andrew Yang was into Slipknot, goog it up.
I might have the band wrong. It was one of those horrific 90s heavy metal, whatever.
Was he wearing Jankos?
Yeah, he's got the whole thing. He's got that shirt with a cross on it, whatever that was.
If this is true, I am cemented in the Yang gang.
Hang on. But again, it was a nice old photo. This guy's a fun kid, but he didn't do anything offensive. This guy's perfect. He's squeaky.
I love the late 90s and even more, the early 2000s.
Wait a minute. You got to find this, Troy. Here we go. Come on, Big Daddy. Where is it?
Andrew Yang kid?
Yeah, Andrew Yang, old photo. Something.
Young Andrew Yang. Try young Andrew Yang.
Young Yang.
How about Andrew Yang rocks?
Stop looking up metal, because that's so specific. And just young
Andrew Yang music.
I might be wrong about the metal.
Okay.
Andrew Yang outfits.
I just saw his graduation photo. Look at images.
Images.
Now
we're talking.
His graduation photo, he still looks kind of
He's got the chain wallet.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's not even it.
He looks like Trent Reznor in that photo.
But yeah, he goes for a real 9-inch dick thing. It's fun. I can't.
Is that it?
No. That's not even Yang. That's some Asian
That's a
kid
guy who's a fan of Yang.
with 7 cameras.
Yeah, that's...
All right. Oh, come on. It was on the cover of Jizz. It was all over the Twitters.
Did you look up Jizz Monthly?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that photo right there, he looks badass.
Well, that's pretty hot. That's a sexy Asian right
He's got
there.
a big sweater on. He's got a trench coat on. He's got a little necklace on.
I hate leather trench coats.
Is it leather, do you think?
I don't know. I just don't like them. It's
Why
just
not?
a stupid look.
You think?
You didn't wear them in high school with your group
No,
of friends?
I didn't.
I'm shocked. We got this is getting
out of control.
Out of hand here. Come on, where is it? It was all over the webs because they were like, "This is Trudeau, but look how cool Yang was." And it was
hell
a nice
yeah!
Back and
I
forth.
don't know. Yang has never held elected. Is he a councilman?
Nothing.
See, that's again
Billionaire.
Yeah, no, I know he's a very smart guy. I don't know if I want another president in a row who's never held any office. I don't need them to be fucking.
You like Trump?
Well, there's things about Trump I
That's
like.
not an
and
insult.
things
I wasn't trying to. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that was one of the appealing points to him. I hate his vice president, but I don't think I want another person who has never held a public office.
I
want someone who's got a like. That's why I like somebody else.
Holy
all right, wow.
shit!
Thank you.
He's got a dead Kennedy shirt on.
The choker, eye makeup.
But
Isn't that recent?
Party?
That was Halloween.
That looks like it's a costume party, dude.
It's a costume party.
All right, well, what the hell was Trudeau doing?
Either way,
That was
you're
Halloween.
right. That's a great costume. Trudeau, he says, "Oh, it's time to dress up. Let me put some blackface on." Andrew Yang is like, "I'm going to be a punk rocker."
Yeah, he's got a kilt on, I think, as well.
He's obviously very.
He's awesome.
I think
Look
I'm
at
in.
that.
I'm in.
I'm in with Andrea, yeah.
Troy, what's it say?
Andrew
here's
Emo
me as a-
Yang.
No, Troy, I can't read it. I'm gonna read it. It says, "In a run up to Halloween, I'm posting pics of Halloween gone by. Here's me as a punk with Evelyn." Okay, is that his wife?
I guess so.
He's got an Asian fetish,
very
apparently.
very attractive.
Beautiful wife.
Yeah.
And look at him with his dead Kennedy. Yeah, you in the Yang gang, Troy?
I'm starting to.
Yeah, Troy.
I think that's cool. Who was the other guy?
Bill de Blasio. He loves ska.
Yeah,
He
he's
loves
really
ska.
cool,
Is
dude.
that right?
Many hits.
What?
I love ska.
There was
They have
another guy
many
that was
great
in
hits.
A punk band.
No, that's wasn't Beto?
Oh, Beto.
You don't want Beto because Alex Jones one time interviewed a pile of shit and
No,
said
I
it was
remember
Beto.
that.
You don't
Yep.
want that.
That was not complimentary.
Yeah, you don't want that.
He feels disingenuous as well.
He does.
Something's up with that guy.
He
I like
stinks.
Andrew Yang.
Yeah, Yang, baby.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Mark, and I apologize for teasing you when you first brought him up.
Well, I know what I'm doing. Politically.
It's time for an Asian president, I think.
I think so too.
Asian caviar.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Andrew Yang. Plus, I'm trying to get that money.
No, you don't need a cool grand. What are you
I'm
going to do?
trying to get paid.
I bet you that doesn't happen.
I don't like that idea. It feels too risky. You can't give people things. They get spoiled and they get weird. They get lazy.
They spend it. That's the point.
I guess, but
Let's get some money. People can start some businesses, open some restaurants. No problem. We got customers because
Open
everybody's
a
got
restaurant.
$1,000.
you can't open a restaurant with a K.
No, you can open a restaurant because people will go to it because they'll be able to eat at
Taxable
restaurants
money,
again
yeah.
because they got $1,000.
Oh, I hear you.
You
there,
wouldn't take the
fatty.
lady out.
Pop-up bouillabaisse shop.
You wouldn't take the lady out for a nice bouillabaisse if you had $1,000 in your pocket, burning a hole?
It's such a thin soup.
And you go like this. Of course I'm going to spend it. I got another grand coming next month.
Yeah, all right.
You know?
All right, I hear you.
I can't wait.
That's 12 G's a year. That's
That's
what
big
I
money.
made last year in comedy.
Yeah. You're doing pretty well.
Sure, yeah. Half of that stolen from your drawer.
Oh, you're right. That was six grand.
See, nobody's going to be stealing money from your drawer anymore because they're like, I could break into Mark Norman's apartment or I could just wait for the mailman to give me my money.
Can I just say this about making it in comedy? I went out to LA and did a bunch of podcasts, and I was pitching a show during the day
Yeah.
and doing the store at night or the improv at night, and these show pitches are hell. You go do these podcasts, you go do Fighter and the Kid or Dr. Drew, you're like, this is going to help me more than selling a show. No one cares about the show.
The LA comedy podcast scene.
Oh,
very good.
It's
they're
on fire.
millionaires.
It's on fire.
They're unbelievable. They got Joe Rogan with a Ferrari and a Tesla and a boxing ring, and then we got Dave Attell with a CVS bag.
LA really did take the throne from New York.
Oh,
With
yeah.
podcasting, yeah, they're doing great.
With
And stand up,
podcasting.
right? Are there all the big stand ups now kind of?
Well, they got Sebastian, they got Burr now, they got Jeselnik, they
Yeah.
got Rogan. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Chicago, New York. So those guys are from.
Oh, sure.
Oh, but now they're in LA, I'm saying.
Now they're in
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah, you got to be there. I mean, LA has always had the biggest comics. Eddie Murphy, they all Pryor. They're all, all
good
LA.
point.
It wasn't. I felt like, and
We had
maybe this was
Jerry.
just because it was where my preference was, but I felt like during like the tough crowd generation, New York was the spot for comedy, and now I feel like maybe it's LA right now.
Even then, the comedians. In New York, I mean, Seinfeld had Seinfeld, and you had a couple, but like Roseanne, I think was in L.A.
Oh, yeah, she was
Fuck
in LA.
Home Improvement, Tim Allen, Drew Carey, those guys were
Letterman,
always in L.A.
Leno.
Leno was in L.A. Yeah, Letterman's here. I mean, you know,
Oh,
L.A. is
yeah.
always anyone who had a TV show was always L.A.
Right.
All except for Seinfeld, and even he
Yeah.
did it in L.A. It
Yeah.
was just about New
That's
York.
right.
He lived in L.A. when he did it.
Ah, shit. This city sucks. We're on the wrong coast. But, oh, man, I had a Netflix pitch. And, you know, in my head, you go pitch True TV, TBS. It's a whole day, Amazon. And I thought that these people wanted to hear the pitch. Like I thought, oh, we go into Netflix. They want to hear it. No, it's just my agent going, you got to hear this idea. And they go, let me block off 12 minutes to go talk to this idiot.
Yep.
And I overheard some people talking, and they're like, I got to go do this. And they were talking about my pitch.
They were.
Yeah, and I was like, I thought they wanted to hear it. So once you know they don't care, you just shut down confidence-wise. And, oh, man, I had a Netflix bomb. I bombed in Netflix.
Why did you bomb? You think you probably did better than you think.
No, well, here's why. Because I got all keyed up. Like, all right, I got to really bring it. If these people don't want to be here, I got to bring the heat. So the guy walks in, and it was the Luke Cage room. You know, they name the rooms after TV shows.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
I'm trying to be on, and I'm bombing left and right. So the guy comes in. He's this British guy. He's stone-facing me. And I go, hey, we're in the Luke Cage room. This is the first time I've been inside a black man in a while.
Oh, my God.
And he was like, huh? And I'm like, oh, yeah, never mind. And then we couldn't get the video to work.
That feels like a terrible joke for a pitch.
I thought I had something there.
And a network. They're like, this guy's a problem.
He's a huge problem. We can't trust this person with our airtime.
Well, it's open-minded. I'm saying, hey, I haven't been in one in a while.
No, we understood.
Okay.
All right, so what was you had a video pitch?
Then the video comes on, but it was like glitching, and I go, what is this, the Kevin Hart sex tape? And then the guy pipes up for a second. He goes, can you believe that lady is suing him? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, if you ask me, it's the best video he's ever done. Like the funniest thing he's ever done. He was like, actually, I produced the last 4. And I go,
boom, Mark.
I got the Luke Cage hole. I was trying to get out of that with the Kevin Hart dig. He loves Kevin Hart. They've been,
Of course, he's got a whole bunch of Netflix specials. Why would you?
Right there.
You were just trying to be funny.
I was trying to be kitschy.
Are you supposed to be funny like that in pitch meetings? I mean, I don't know.
Bonnie is great in those. Yeah, I am typically
you gotta be on.
Abysmal.
Well, you're not a funny
meetings.
guy.
I'm really not. When I'm in a pitch meeting, I forget what I do for a living.
Yes.
I literally, if you said, "What's your job?" By the way I'm behaving in here, I would say I'm an accountant.
Look, Jim, I hate to tell you this, but
you said, "What's your job?" By the way I'm behaving in here, I would say I'm an accountant.
Look, Jim, I hate to tell you this, but for some reason, when you're not on the radio and you're not on stage, this is the Jim Norton that we get.
It just didn't taste fresh.
That's right. A man who demands freshness.
This was Jim's highlight. He did bar rescue, and that's the best
great.
thing he said the whole time he was there.
Yeah, that's what they're like. It's like somebody's hitting you with a cattle prod, going dance, dance.
So you're supposed to do.
You got to chuck and jive in there, and you can't. And the whole time you're picturing other comics watching you lap it up and tap dance.
They all do it. And here's the worst part of the pitch: you walk in. There's always a little conversation first. They're across from you. Hey, oh my God! My manager knows everybody. Hey, oh yeah, I saw you. How you been? Good. No, the radio's good. But when you sit down and you talk, okay. And then there's the moment where you have to switch from real conversation to this is why we're here.
Yes.
And whoever can master that, I think that's a huge part of making a pitch.
And you're good at that?
Into this is the pitch. This is me being on. This is funny. Here's the idea. Here's me performing.
And when you think you know what they're going to do, they don't do it. Like, I've been on pitches that I thought went great. Nothing. And when I was out in LA last time, there's something I pitched to one place, and I thought it went really pretty well. And then the next place hadn't been sent the script. And I told John, I don't think I want to do it. Like, I was so depressed. And and he goes, I'll send it to them. I'm like, all right, we'll go in. And I begrudgingly went in.
Brutal.
And as soon as I sat down, I knew that these guys had read something and they were engaging. And I'm like, oh, these guys are great. And they might want to move forward. Like, it was like the one I didn't want to do. Was the one that actually worked out okay.
It's like a lady.
The
when
ones
you don't
that
care.
When you don't care, because I had no pressure. I was like, this is gonna fucking blow.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't a dick when I went in. I was cool, but they're hard, man.
They're
hard. I guess the only thing you can do is somehow figure out how to be famous enough.
That's what
that
it
they're
is.
dancing for you.
Exactly.
Like Chappelle doesn't need to go and do a Netflix and impress them.
No,
they impress him.
If you got juice, it's a whole different animal. But
You
I
don't
got
have
no
juice? No.
But it's funny because I had a good Rogan. My tweets are blowing up. I'm getting all these messages. I'm having a good set at the store every night. Then you go in there and they're like, "Who are you? You suck." And you're like, "I killed 20 minutes ago over here."
They don't care about
They
that.
don't care.
Don't
You're
care.
like, that's. I'm getting fans.
I have
like,
no
shouldn't you-
juice in there. I'm like a pine cone just sitting in the fucking seat, just dry, bombing like
Brittle.
that.
Yeah, it's brutal. I'm with
you forget
man.
you can kill in a comedy club, but they're looking for people who will impress a global audience.
Right,
A
right.
global audience will sit and go, "Oh, I have to watch that person's thing."
And I'm a terrible explainer. Like the written stuff I have faith in, like the scripts I have total faith in. Read it here. But as far as like what it's about, man, like I just fucking fall apart. I forget what my own shit is. I have no
Same.
faith in it.
And you're going, this is bad, this is bad,
This
is bad.
stinks. I wouldn't buy this garbage.
Right.
Like, and my manager talks too much.
Yes, and they build you up and you feel like an
I'm
idiot.
right here. I'm not your fucking nephew reading at communion.
Mark, when we did Bar Rescue, we were on camera. Like this is being filmed for television.
Yeah.
The host, John Taffer, went over to us and said, "How many listeners? This is one of the biggest shows on Sirius XM. How many listeners do you have?" What do you think Jim said?
Couple thou.
He said this. "I don't know. They don't tell us."
I know.
And it's true.
You're too honest.
I told him we were the biggest show on the platform.
There you go.
Yeah, I said, so he said millions? I went, yeah, millions.
Smart.
Yeah.
Good
What
for
are you
you.
going to do?
That was
Check?
smart,
Exactly.
You know?
That was a better answer.
Thank God you
I
were there.
admittedly
But
gave a flawed answer.
Yours
Yeah.
was a truthful answer.
But you're a comic. That's where your brain goes. I'll just say what it is.
Yeah, I don't care.
Very
What
literal.
am I gonna do? Give a number to impress you?
Yeah.
But yeah, yes, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah,
it's a
of
show.
course. The answer is yes. Yeah.
Daddy has to make it tinkle.
Okay, well,
I have
you
to
go
do
have a
stander.
sit. Oh, a stand.
Yeah, I know. I do. I might sit too.
Okay, go have a stand, and while you're standing, maybe judge if you need to sit. Mark Normand is here. Mark Normand tomorrow and Saturday is going to be at the Woo Ha Ha Comedy Club
Whoa, that's way old.
in Worcester, Massachusetts.
That was a couple months ago. I'll say this.
Rob.
I'm at the Paramount Theater in Oklahoma City tomorrow. No, wait, Thursday. Sorry.
Mark was at the Woo Ha Ha Comedy Club months ago.
Oklahoma City, and then
Why is that? Why is the wrong dates on the plug sheet?
It's highlighted.
Addison Improv this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday
minute.
in Dallas.
October 3rd is what day?
I believe that's a Thursday, Friday.
Okay, that's this week.
Yeah.
So the plug sheet that we have has you this weekend in Oklahoma City,
Yeah, that's Thursday.
Addison, Texas,
That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
and then also the same weekend,
Uh-oh.
Worcester, Massachusetts.
No, incorrectamundo. Already did that one.
Right. So we're going to stick with the Paramount in Oklahoma City and the Addison Improv in Addison, Texas for this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know what happened?
What?
He just printed out the sheet from the last time you were here and handed it to me.
Wow.
Nothing new on the plug sheet. Nothing.
No, it's actually the plug from last time.
Oh, you're saving paper.
Yeah, it's just,
guess.
Probably wasn't even a reprint. He just tucked it away from the last time you were in. Like, I'll just hand that asshole this sheet again.
It's an evergreen.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
just give him the sheet back.
Well, I haven't been here in a while. That woo-ha-ha was in fucking April.
Wow, April, man, cool.
Yeah.
Good plug.
Opera Club.
So again, October 3rd, that's this Thursday.
Boy, Travis looks good.
If you're in Oklahoma City, you can see Mark Normand at the Paramount. This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4th through the 6th.
Yeah.
You can see Mark Normand in Addison, Texas at the Addison Improv. The website is marknormandcomedy.com. You can also get Tuesdays with Stories on iTunes. And we'll be right back.
Here, here.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. This is what happened on the last Jim Norton and Sam Roberts show.
Have you ever thought of
I
expanding
thought he was just going to plug something
on your name?
for him. Kevin Smith and
You're welcome.
Jason Mewes.
Yeah, Blunt Man and Chronic.
That's right. They're promoting the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
I did not see it.
It was funny. I mean, for me, I grew up with that whole, like, the View Askew universe.
Yep.
That's Kevin Smith's whole deal. Clerks and Mallrats and culminating in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That was like my high school years. So
Right.
Is Kevin still really thin?
Yeah,
I'm sure he is.
Last I saw.
He's Kevin thin. I wouldn't say he's...
No, dude, he was railed. Kevin
Really?
was really thin.
Like-
He looked good because his heart attack scared the fuck out of him, I guess.
And he went to an all-vegan diet.
What?
Yeah, like, it's not just,
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I think he's a vegan now. I think
Be
so.
interested to ask him.
See, look, he's still not... Oh,
yeah, that's
look at
pretty-
that. Oh, that's gross.
Isn't it weird when you see a guy who used to be really fat, skinny? It looks, but
It
I
doesn't
mean,
look right.
but I mean, it's healthier.
I mean, look at Al Roker. He got all weird looking.
Yeah, and sharp. I don't know what it is. Like
Sharpton.
we look at guys who are because
Well, you get used to it.
I think they also have a lot of extra skin.
Yeah.
And
but
so
he
it
doesn't in that picture. He looks healthier, but you look like sickly even though you're not. You're healthy.
Yeah.
It's just because we're so used to seeing you overweight.
I guess so.
Also, sometimes people get too skinny.
Ah.
I don't think he's too skinny though.
In that one picture, he looked very skinny. That way, he doesn't look. You see, he doesn't look sickly at all.
Do you
There,
know
He
how
just
good it
looks
must
like a-
feel for him to just be able to buy shirts that he wants to buy
Oh, yeah.
and not be as self-conscious?
I wonder if he's got extra skin.
I wonder if he's had the surgery. Or if
Maybe.
he will.
Maybe.
Lap band?
No, it's when you have extra skin where they just kind of tighten you up a little bit.
Now,
Yeah.
did they do anything with that skin?
They give it to cancer kids, like the wigs.
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Oh, I was
I'm
gonna
just-
say.
Yeah, they make chin straps out of it for motorcycles.
Yeah, they cut it off. I had a friend that was like 500 pounds. He went down to about 250.
Roland?
No.
All right.
He said was.
And
All
actually,
right.
he was willing to come on O&A back in the day. I pitched this as a bit. If we could get a doctor to cut off his fat, he would cook it and eat it.
Whoa.
Why didn't we do that? Was cannibalism a problem on the show?
that's
yeah,
probably- you're not
Gary.
supposed to-
Gary said that's not happening.
You're not gonna have
Put it-
cannibalism.
Put it in writing.
Oh,
Jim
okay.
Norton, put it in writing. Can't
All
have
right.
Cannibalism.
If we can't be
writing.
cannibals, put it in writing. That's all.
Yeah.
Can't fuck kids. Put it in writing.
Oh, they did.
Oh, okay.
That's on the books.
Yeah, I heard on that Vito on Bennington has lost a whole bunch of weight.
He looks good, yeah.
and he's I think he's not getting the skin taken off just yet because he's worried he's going to get re-fat again. He said he'll probably get fat again and then lose weight for permanently.
Yeah.
Smart.
And so before just in case he gets fat again, he's not going to.
It's already there.
How do they take the skin off? It seems like it would just scar the fuck out of you.
I think they
saw it off.
Yeah, I think it's not dissimilar from like a facelift.
It's like a tummy tuck.
Yeah,
There
tummy tuck
you
facelift
go.
where you just put the scars in good places. Like when they do a facelift, a lot of times they put the scars behind the ears.
Behind the ears.
Right.
So you
Or
don't
up
see
here,
'em.
you can see the skin folded. I can always tell when someone's had work done.
Yeah.
Because up by the head, they have to leave a little bit of leeway for your eyes and your face
Right.
to make expressions.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can always tell when people have had work done.
Definitely.
Sometimes I'll just pinch it.
No, you shouldn't do that. They don't like
Seal had a really fat face. That's what that scar is.
What?
On Seal, the singer.
No,
Yeah.
that scar was like
That's like tribe.
I'm joking.
No, it wasn't.
just making
Oh,
a
you're
joke.
I think you're serious.
Yeah.
The tribe is like
That's a bummer, huh?
Wow.
When you make a joke and people are like, well, he must be serious because it's not
Right.
funny.
No, the scar was like from acne or something like that.
Is that
Yeah, it wasn't some.
I thought it was something cool.
Or a sickness. Yeah, no, it wasn't.
I think it was a sickness.
Yeah, I think you just have to put the
He was kissed by a rose
where?
on his face.
Do
you ever hear that song? That's from Batman.
You got that right. That was a weird Batman phase.
yeah,
with
that's
Jim
the-
Carrey as the Riddler.
Joel Schumacher Batman
That's
years.
right.
Yeah.
Best ones, right?
He got in trouble. He got me too.
Joel Schumacher?
Oh
did?
yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh
When?
yeah.
Oh, that's
I
too
got a
Recently?
A year ago.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Hate to hear that.
Yeah, yeah. Schumacher.
Is he still
Man,
working?
man.
I don't know. He's directing my special.
Did you hear that? Oh, speaking of movie stars, did you watch the Stacey Dash arrest?
No,
I did. She was very calm.
You know who Stacey Dash is?
I got a huge crush.
Yeah, she started Clueless, and then she's
You'll like her more now.
Later years, she's become a conservative commentator.
Would she beat up a guy or something?
Apparently, yeah. She's in an argument with somebody.
She slapped him and pushed him. Was it a boyfriend? I'm not saying it's right, but she didn't beat him up.
They called it a domestic disturbance, but they didn't say boyfriend. So I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, it wasn't right. It wasn't like she beat the shit out of somebody, but
Right.
there were scratches on him. He called the cops, and it's a story because she's famous.
Uh-huh.
The headline the reason I watched the video is because the headline said Stacey Dash explains she was in Clueless when she gets arrested. So I was hoping we had like a Reese Witherspoon moment from her.
Yeah.
What was that?
When she goes, "Do you know who I am?"
Oh, when
She's
she
a
was
little
drunk driving?
Yeah.
She was a little tipsy.
Right, right.
I'll have your job.
Yeah. Look
You
at
have-
this pretty lady.
You have the video already, Troy.
I know. I was just trying to find.
Oh, is that another one? Yeah, but here's the actual video that they were advertising, and I was sitting there going like, "Oh, I thought like Stacey Dash was going to come across really." Based on the headline, it sounds like she would come across very poorly.
She didn't.
She didn't at all.
Wait, was that? Hold on. Is the 911 call from this incident or another one?
Looks like 9/30/2019. This
Play
one.
it.
My
Wow.
husband put me into a chokehold.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know there was a call.
That's what she said. She called 911.
Oh, the chokehold would explain why there's no bruising.
Aha.
Yes.
If she,
Jussie
needs,
Smollett.
if she needs to, I still believe him.
So here is the video. Somebody got it on their on-body camera. One of the cops,
All right.
the arresting officer.
The fuzz.
Put the fucking video on.
You can give her your cell phone.
I want to see the guy.
I don't think they show the guy.
That's just Mark watching porn.
You okay?
Am I being arrested?
I'll explain it to you in a second.
She's good.
Yeah.
She's very smart.
Playing it.
The cuffs go on, and she knows when she's being arrested.
Oh, yeah. Half black, half Mexican.
But what else could be happening? Cuffs go on. What do you think this is?
It's a date.
I'm going to spank you.
Right.
No.
It's a magic trick.
You ever been arrested in the state of Florida?
No.
You ever been arrested in
Florida?
No.
Where were you born?
Bronx.
Bronx?
New York.
Okay. I'm from upstate New York.
Ah, this guy's hitting on her.
This is what I'm saying. Hit pause for a second. This is what got me so bothered. Like, I don't like questions in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I were in handcuffs, getting escorted to a cop car, and the guy was just trying to have a friendly banter with me.
You might like it, though, because it makes you feel like it's a friendlier experience. A familiar person, even on a teeny level, beats an aggressive asshole.
I mean,
when you're
look,
being arrested.
yes, it beats the alternative. It's better than the alternative for sure. But I'd be so annoyed that this was happening.
Yeah.
I would just want to be quiet.
But I think this is a dweeb from Florida who's like, I'm kind of talking to a celebrity here.
That's right.
I'm going to take advantage here.
I mean, what's he going to say to her?
You fucking cunt.
Right,
No, there's,
right.
You know, I think there's a middle ground.
You know, she was in Clueless. She's no slouch.
What do you do for work?
I'm an actress.
Oh, okay. Like TV or
Oh, like you don't know.
He knows.
He knows.
acting?
Ah.
Movies.
Well, like, you know, like
I
any,
did
like,
a film called Clueless.
Wow, that's her last thing.
are you in any shows right now or anything?
Come on. This is awful. I'd rather have him go, hey.
I'll take that disc, man, and I'll ram it up your butt.
It's his mother. It's his mother.
Philly. I love the guy called him Philly.
Philly.
This guy's already has more questions than the guy in the pitch with me.
But I mean, that's an insulting question, even if you're not getting arrested.
Got any shows?
To sit there and go like just to ask an actor. She just said, "Well, I was in Clueless." Like, Mark, if you're an actor and I go, well, are you working on anything right now? Because it's humiliating to say no.
That's what my parents do. They go, I'm doing Conan. They go, oh, what about Fallon? You go, God damn.
Why would you bring it up?
I'm still doing Conan.
Conan's good. Yeah, Conan's on TV as well. But it's a terrible question.
Horrible question. But he's a cop. What does he know?
He should know enough to just let her get arrested in peace.
He knows who
guess.
she is.
He knows it very well who she is.
Does.
Excuse me, I'm sick as a dog on Christmas.
Sorry to hear that.
I did get a break. I did politics for a while.
That's like, what do you mean? Like you
I
were?
was a Fox News contributor.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Deputy's just going to search you real quick.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool job.
Yeah, let me search you.
Oh, you're a Fox News contributor? Okay. I'm going to put my hands on you.
By the way, this is a real 180 from the normal black treatment.
Yeah, this is a much more polite experience.
You have a bra or anything on?
There probably are a lot of very polite police experiences.
Of course.
They just don't.
You just don't see
end
it.
up on the
Yeah.
internet.
Right.
That'd be a fun YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Polite police experience.
I like
Polite
it.
police.
Yeah, just people who are nice to the cops and they're nice to them.
Good boys, good
The
boys.
cop in New
What
York.
you gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna ask about my current project?
The cop who got shot in New York was friendly fire. It was, I guess the guy was struggling for his gun and they went to shoot him and they shot the fucking...
It was an accident. It was during an altercation with a criminal, but it would, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
He killed another cop?
And one cop
On
was
accident.
shooting somebody else and shot him by mistake. So what happened? She's been arrested and charged with...
Yeah, I think she got arrested and charged. I'm sure she got out. Like, you know, I think it's just a big story because everybody is interested in Stacey Dash. Everybody remembers Clueless, and they think it's weird that she became a conservative commentator.
Sure.
You know.
Clueless, what was that, 30 years ago?
That's it, yeah. No, not quite 30.
Or 25?
Yeah, 25 years probably.
I saw it in the theater, I remember.
So did I.
Wow, as if.
I saw Jaws in the theater.
Shut the
you're,
fuck up.
You're a much older gentleman.
75.
I forget sometimes.
Wow. Did you see Birth of a Nation?
No, but I back it.
Oh, 95. All right, what's that? 22? I can't do math.
It's okay.
24.
24
There
years
you
ago.
go.
Just about 25. We're
24.
almost.
Good show.
We're approaching the 25th anniversary next year. And that's
Maybe this
something.
is a way to promote it. That's what I love when people do that with SNL with like Shane Gillis. They're like, "Oh, this is genius. It's all marketing. They did it with Leslie Jones. They did it with Melissa Villasenor. They know what they're doing."
But don't you think they should not put in the headline says like Stacey Dash explains to officer she was in Clueless? That's really that headline does not match the video that we just watched.
The lack of integrity in journalism is astounding.
Yeah,
I'm starting to have losing faith in them.
Are you having doubts, Jim? I hate to hear that.
A little bit.
I absolutely hate to hear that.
Yep. How do they live with themselves?
Yeah, but I'm sure Stacey Dash will be fine.
I don't know.
Dash.
You don't think so?
Nah.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think she's going to have to do some kind of stunt just to get back in the public eye. Well,
it's not
going
like
to book her in a movie.
It's not like she had like a great public image anyway. I mean, being a conservative commentator
true.
kind of kills you in Hollywood.
Isn't LeBron getting a little shit for this Taco Tuesday?
Ooh, what happened?
What happened with Taco Tuesday
Just
and
that they're
LeBron?
saying it's a double standard. There was something on Fox did with LeBron.
alliteration.
I don't know exactly what he does on. I received information about it.
Taco Tuesday. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's trying to trademark Taco Tuesday.
Oh.
He does something on social media where he announces his Taco Tuesday. What's the problem?
I don't know. I thought he was getting shit for it.
Because it's Mexican-y?
I like tacos on a Tuesday.
Same.
I like them on a Wednesday
It's just
too.
a food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody.
There was something with the Fox with a double standard. I didn't know
Fox
exactly.
Fox will be the ones to point it out.
We're really
Well, sometimes
reaching.
they're the only ones who pointed out that the fucking Zimmerman audio was edited. But they might not even be right about this. I just got a little bit of information about it.
LeBron James can't own Taco Tuesday, but he can use it. Lawyer says.
Oh, this is where we're at. This is like when Trump tried to have "you're fired."
Yeah.
Try to keep that.
He can't.
All right.
Yeah, I don't see
there's
this
nothing
is
to
news.
it.
Getting shit or anything.
This
like
is
that.
news, folks.
Yeah.
He's allowed to eat tacos.
Tacos are good.
Yeah, or pussy. It's just funny because in like the 80s and 90s, you had a half hour for news. And now the news is 24/7, so you got to keep pumping shit in.
It's a lot of content to cover.
Yeah, before you were like, hey, a comedian said, you go up to the boss, hey, boss, a comedian said the F word at a comedy club. And you go, hey, we got 8 dead in Syria, douche. Get out of here.
Well, it's like there was a difference between like news and gossip and entertainment, and like it was all separated.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of mushed together. Like I literally read a headline that said Kamala Harris was on one of the news shows, and she said that Trump's latest tweet, whatever it was, I didn't look up what it was because I don't care, should get him suspended from Twitter. And I'm like, you got one candidate talking about whether or not the president should be suspended from Twitter? What difference does it make if he's on Twitter or not?
Right.
Who cares?
Right. I'm on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean,
Who cares?
who cares?
I call it news-ertainment.
That's really good.
Thank you. It's news and it's entertainment.
Remember when you were younger, if you gossip, people were like, all right, go join your sewing circle. All right.
Yeah,
now it's-
hen, shut up.
Yeah.
But
now
everyone
it's,
admits now it's fun.
It's
Everybody
fun.
has a good time doing
It's always
it.
been fun.
I
Hey.
fucking can't stand her.
Why? What's wrong with
She's
Kamala
just a
Harris?
nudge.
What do you mean?
Fucking annoying ex-prosecutor. Didn't she like really go after people for smoking pot?
She did. She's
Fuck her.
kind of doubled back on that a little bit.
Yeah, good for her. She
Everything
stinks.
flip-flops.
She flip-flopped a little bit,
Remember
but
when Obama hated gay marriage?
Yeah,
yeah, that's
they all
true.
do though. At
Except
one
then
point.
Joe Biden opened his big fat mouth.
Yeah,
Obama's like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing.
Clinton didn't believe in it. You know, none of them. They're all against it until people were kind of for it.
Yeah. You just wait until the base kind of evens out, and then you go, oh, okay,
Yeah, we're for it too.
let's move with the base. You getting out of here, Mark
I assume
Norman?
Roland didn't tell you I had to leave at 10.
No, he did not.
Right.
Roland spins everything in a pro Mark Normand way.
Why did he tell us?
Because Roland, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Roland prioritizes Mark Normand
I love the guy.
over our show.
But
For
He
sure.
does.
Definitely. Oh, yes, he definitely
So he's
does.
not giving us not that we care if you have to leave, you got to go, but he didn't tell us that.
Because he didn't want Mark Normand to look bad to us.
Oh.
I believe that
Do you
that
think he
is-
puts Mark above our show?
Oh, 100% he
No.
does. Yes, he does.
I got it.
And I don't take that out on
Where
Mark.
you
I like
going?
Mark too.
Flight.
Are you playing?
Yeah, grandmother died.
It's got that
Oh, how'd she die?
SXM car service.
Yeah.
Are you sad about it?
Yeah, she was 99, but
Wow.
she had a good run, but she was doing the thing, for 5 years going, who are you?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what are you?
She sounds like she should work at Netflix.
We had the same joke. Yours was better. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure Roland will.
Sorry to hear that.
He'll be there for you in your time of need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roland posted Mark Norman's appearance on the Joe Rogan show on his Facebook page.
Hey, I'll take it.
Roland's obsessed with Mark Norman.
Wow.
Nobody hears that show. I need the press.
No, that's not true. It's popular. I heard it was very good. I didn't hear it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
can we talk about the Rogan come down? I really crashed hard after it.
Why?
Because it's so overwhelming. It's 3 hours, and you gotta be
Oh,
on.
man.
He's a tough nut to crack. I got out of there, and I was like, I had like a day of really like melting down a little bit.
And you're probably excited, really excited about
Yes.
doing it.
And so much
This is
build-up.
a big moment.
Oh.
You know what? I never even thought of that.
Oh,
Because I'm
crazy.
sure.
It's like a late night. There's so much build up to this 5 minutes, and then you do it, and you're like, oh, that was weird.
Did you feel like it was on the level of a late night, bigger than a late night?
I mean, I've done 12 late nights. Nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
It's much bigger than any type of late night.
But you
TV.
felt that way going in.
Oh yeah, and I wanted to really nail it, and I wrote down all the stories I wanted to tell. And
Wow.
obviously you can't. It's like a fist fight. You go in, you're like, I think it's gonna go this way, then it goes a whole other way, then you get hit with a garbage.
He's
can.
very casual and comfortable, and
great.
he has that hype. My favorite part of doing Rogan is seeing how long I can go without pissing, because he has that fucking high test coffee. He has the best coffee
Great
with that
coffee.
weird butter.
Turmeric.
Yeah, it's really good.
You've been friends with him forever, though, so it's probably a different experience for you.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's a great thing to do. I love
Of
doing
course,
the show.
of course.
It's helpful to me as well.
Yes.
It's helpful to everyone who does
He's a
it.
career maker.
You're not one of these guys like Mark, who's like, holy shit, this is like the next level for me.
Yes.
I've been waiting for this. Is a moment I've been waiting for.
It's always different if you know somebody. It's always different. It's like guys who did Letterman and Leno who knew them from the store. It's a different energy.
Yeah.
It's still a big thing to do, but you're more comfortable with the person because you can't kind of team up.
But that's why you wouldn't have the come down probably after a Rogan.
No, I'm always.
Because
It's probably my favorite thing to do when I'm out there.
I'm sure. It's such a great show.
Great
but yeah,
guy.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, he's a good egg, but you want to get laughs, but he's not a big laugher. So it's as a guy who's as squirrely and insecure as me, it's a tap dance for 3 hours.
So what do? Just sit in the low for a day?
Yeah,
Like afterwards,
I had one of those mental things where I'm punching the wall, like, God, you suck. That joke was bad. You know how it goes. You're in the shower going,
Are you going over
"Ah!"
joke by joke? Really? No, Joe doesn't
I
think
hate
that way.
myself. All right, speak of the anal.
Yeah,
What was the first joke that really bombed?
Oh, geez. Just listen. It's in the first 2 minutes.
You know, it was great. He tried to do the Seinfeld story. Joe didn't really care.
He didn't care.
He didn't care. I watched.
This will get him.
I watched the clip. He was like, I'm friends with Seinfeld now, and he tried to do the story that he did here that we were like so wrapped up in, turned into 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Great story. It was literally 3 minutes on Rogan's show.
Brutal.
And I could see. I'm like, okay, Mark's trying to be like, okay, this is
This'll open it
this
up.
is a piece here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And Joe was like, yeah, man, the thing about comics out here, and you're like,
Processed
oh,
meat. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's why the show is so interesting, because he's so genuine. There's zero Jimmy Fallon-ness.
Yes.
Zero like giggling at this and scruffing the hair up or whatever.
No, if he's having fun, it's legit.
It's
He's not
legit.
ever pretending to have fun.
Which is why I think it's popular. But all right, I gotta go. Praise
All right,
Allah.
buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Have
you,
fun.
Mark.
You can see Mark Norman this Thursday in Oklahoma City at the Paramount.
Yeah.
This Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be in Addison, Texas at the Addison Improv. And we love having Mark in. Do you want to take a quick break before we get
They're not here yet,
the
right?
Jay and Silent Bob boys in here? They are not here yet.
Okay. Do we know if they're on their way over? Oh, it's 10:05.
10:05. They should be here within 10 minutes.
Okay.
But,
Take a quick break, come back and talk to those gents.
But we are not leaving. We will be back live after the break. We're going long today, folks.
I'll be in Stress Factory in 2 weeks, and I will be in Denver in 3 weeks. I got 2 gigs this month. Denver and the Stress Factory. Lots of laughs.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Jim's eyes are a shade that was known as doo-doo brown. if you could pick, the doo-doo brown really shines brightly in Jim's eyes today.
Yeah. Can you do something that makes me look like I have a stronger profile? It is funny how obsessed. That's one good thing about knowing that you photograph like shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm never, like there's some that I see that I'm like, oh, like it's worse than before. But by and large, you get used to like knowing you're not going to look good on camera. It takes so much pressure off.
I've given up on it. Like when I looked at the video that's on the app, because we do have video on the app now. We talked about it at the beginning of the show.
It's literally, it looks like the caveman sitcom. The fucking Geico guy. You look like.
Yeah, I go like I was just sitting there going like, oh, but I wasn't surprised. I was like, that's what I expected.
Yeah,
when I go do WWE stuff, they're like, oh, don't forget to get makeup. I go, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, for what?
I'm not doing it. For what? It's not going to help.
Oh, they're here?
Kevin Smith is here.
Oh, good. Oh, my God. Kevin, so good to see you,
Welcome, Kevin. Excellent. You little thing, you. Look at you. You look great.
Is this the way to go?
It is, yeah. Or you can say whatever you're... We were talking about weight loss, and the first thing I'm going to ask is, how much better is it now? Isn't it great just to go clothes shopping and not obsess that you're not going to be able to get a shirt or a pair of pants that you want?
But you got to remember, I was like, I was always secure with the wardrobe because I had all the hockey jerseys. As long as there was a 4XL, 6XL hockey jersey out there, I was always.
You also literally started your own clothing line, so you could wear whatever you wanted.
I wore it too, so I could wear the hockey jersey. I always figured was like a fat guy's muumuu. You could hide 25 pounds of weight gain or loss underneath without people necessarily catching on right away. And it was also just an all-purpose go-to. But then when I lost the weight, I shrunk the hockey jerseys, but for some reason, I thought I looked stupid. I probably looked stupid the whole time, but for me, I was like, this looks dumb now. So I reverted back to, I was wearing jackets in 97 before I gained weight.
Do you like how, because whenever you lose weight, any person that loses weight, all of a sudden you lose so much, they're like, whoa, you looked better when you were, I think you look really good now, though.
You're adorable. Thank you. I feel pretty good, but I've encountered a lot of that. Now, you know what? That's unfair. Online, nothing but support. Yeah. But small pocket, very small pocket, 2%. Every once in a while, people tweet like, you don't look good, bro. You look sick.
Yeah.
What's the matter? You got the cancer? And I'm like, no, I got the vegan.
I lost weight.
Yeah. This is me healthy. This is me at my best.
That's the thing. Like when somebody's like, you don't look healthy, dude. I'm like, well, I was unhealthy when I had the heart attack.
Yeah.
Right.
That was unhealthy. This relatively
But you know
healthy.
what? When people see fat people, like the skin is stretched out, so no wrinkles. And also fat people are like, jolly, and you're such a naturally happy guy. It's like, oh, everything must be going great.
I try to keep it sunny, but I do have very drapey like skin under these clothes, like that.
We were discussing that, Jim and I, if you were going to get the skin surgery or not.
No, I'm going to wear it. I think.
Oh, yeah?
You know, like at the end of the day, it's not like I make a living with my shirt off. So you know,
yes. Are you uncomfortable naked still? We used to talk about, we used to commiserate about being uncomfortable naked.
Are you finally cool with it?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No,
I don't. That won't ever change. And I mean, to be fair, like I'm doing everyone a favor not being naked, because like it's one thing to have the weight that I have, but now with the weight loss, then like it looks even worse. You know, I look like Melty Man.
But when you see
the dude that got in RoboCop when he got hit by this nuclear waste, like, whoa, that dude. It's all saggy.
When you see a photo of a guy sitting with no shirt, like just leaning over, and he's like, his abs are okay, it's not perfect, but he's comfortable being shirtless. Aren't you like, what the fuck is that like to live like that and be comfortable without a shirt in front of people?
There are some things I'll never know in this life. What it feels like to dunk a basketball, what it feels like to do a pull-up, and definitely what it feels like to sit in a shirtless position in a chair and lean forward. Yes. I've never understood it. I don't even take my shirt off during sex. My wife's like, come on, I like to feel your skin. I'm like, I don't.
How about if you're on the bottom? If you're on the bottom, will you?
Every once in a blue moon, I'll just, it's so embarrassing. I will lift the shirt up to a belly blouse affair.
Nice.
But I won't go sheer. I won't take it all the way.
See, I like my nipples played with, so that for me was a real dilemma. Like, what do I do?
You're a nipple guy?
Oh, I am. It's what happens when you just desensitize everything else. It's the only place I feel human.
Years ago, hearing on one of the shows when you were talking, just going full length into the things that you like.
Yep.
It was such an eye-opener. I had so much respect. I still do. So much respect for him. Like, oh my God, he's just saying it.
Thank you.
He's just owning it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But the nipple one was hard when you don't like your shirt taken off. That was a dilemma I always had.
You just answered that like inside the actor's studio. Like Kevin's like, so much respect for you. And you're like, thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's my method. I become the part. And I was playing Kevin Bacon in the way.
So what did you do, though, Jim? When you need your nipples played with, do you like pull your shirt up like a little kid and hold it under your chin?
No, I mean, that actually is not a bad technique. But if I was on my back, I would just lift it above my chest. But if you're in another, you have to take it off sometimes.
You do.
After a while, you just like.
Do you ever yank down so the nipples come out the top?
No, because I'm too worried about ruining my shirt collars. You know what I mean? I don't want to stretch out my shirt collars.
Even in the heat of passion, you're like, hey, watch the collar.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, this is a Sabbath shirt. I don't want to ruin it.
That's also when you know you love nipple play, that you love nipple play more than you hate being shirtless.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I got to make
point.
the sacrifice here.
Good point, man.
Where's Jason? Is he doing press with you today?
I just heard as I was walking in that he arrived just after me. He went to a TV show early this morning. I just flew in. I just landed like an hour or two ago.
Oh,
So I
fantastic.
think he'll be coming in any moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, Jay and Silent Bob reboot, man. Was it?
It's coming.
I was watching, and like, first of all, for people who want to get tickets, it's on Fathom Events. So if you go to fathomevents.com/reboot, it's in theaters October 15th, and it's one of those deals where it's a special event.
October 15th and October 17th. But then October 19th, that's the Fathom Events thing, where you can see it in any multiplex around the country.
Yeah.
Then October 19th, Jay and I go out on the Reboot Roadshow tour where we take the movie 60. Right now it's 62 cities. I think we're adding like 3 more before it's done, so 65 cities. It's like a legit tour, man.
Do you like doing those tours? The first one you did, Red State was the first
Red
tour,
State,
right?
and we did it well, but we didn't we were like, we got 10 dates and then we're done. And it's like, no, we should just keep going.
And do you watch the film every time?
Yeah. And this time, I'm really looking forward to watching this one each time because I love the movie. I'm so deeply in love with it. It's meant to be like a big. When I had the heart attack and I was laying on the table and the doctor's like, you have a 80% chance of dying tonight. I was like, oh, good Lord.
Wow, they say that to me every time I perform.
But I was relatively okay with it. I'd reached a place of peace where I was like, well, if I died tonight, so be it. I've had a really good life. And then I was like, wait a second, though. If I do die tonight, the last movie I made was Yoga Hosers. Oh, fuck. So I was like, I got to live, Doc. I got to make Jay and Silent Bob reboot. So the movie became like this, everyone hates when I say it, but I can't think of any other way to describe it. It's not, you shouldn't put it on the poster. It's not a really good marketing hook, but to me, it's a big, fat, cinematic gravestone. Like
I was going to say love letter, gravestone.
Gravestone's a good way to put it.
It's like me going like, this was my whole life. Like the movie it tracks every flick I've ever done. It sequelizes Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, even Dogma, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back talks about the podcast. My family's in it, Jay's family's in it and stuff. It's like a big scrapbook. Like I kind of went at it when I was making it like this is it, because my old man had 2 heart attacks, and the first one he made it through and the second one he didn't. I've changed my life. I went vegan, lost a bunch of weight, but at the end of the day I'm subject to the fact my parents gave me a bump.
Genetics
as it is. So if the second one comes back and does me, and regardless of how much I've changed my lifestyle, I wanted to make something that was like, here it is. This is my eulogy, last will and testament. So making of this movie, did you ever see Big Fish?
Yeah, of course.
Last 10 minutes of Big Fish where they're carrying Albert Finney through his life. That's what the whole making of this movie was like. Everybody I know and loved ever came back and stuff like that. And they all came down to New Orleans. I got to play with all my old toys again. It was so wonderful. 'Cause after the heart attack, I felt like an old man. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull out the toys. This will make me feel
Do you like being a vegan? Because I've thought of it because I like animals so much and
Jason
I
Mewes
feel so
is coming
shitty.
in.
Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Movie star Jason Mewes.
Jason
Do you
Mewes
like
is
eating
here
like a
joining
vegan or
us.
no?
I do. I joke, like wherever I'm
going on,
on
man?
stage, I'm sure I do it. I didn't do it here because we're all pros, but out in the world, my go-to joke is like, I'm vegan now. Used to be happy, now I'm fucking vegan. So, but it is a joke. I actually like being vegan. I don't miss anything. I'm never like, oh man, if only I could have that. There's enough options out there for us, fake meats and stuff.
Because there's that whole
Not
cruelty
true,
to
bro.
animals.
I've had burgers in my hand, and he's ripped them out of my hand.
Yeah,
and
but
started
give me
throwing
that.
it, smeared it on his face.
Give me that. I'll fuck you in the
Smell
mouth.
So did you want to, I'm glad you're here, Jason, because the movie, it opened, and it's in the trailer, so it's not like a spoiler. But when we first are reacquainted with Jay and Silent Bob, Jay has his dick tucked back and his pants down. Is that something where you were like, look, we need to let everybody know that Jay and Silent Bob are here, and this is what they're up to in 2019, and we need your dick tucked back, Jay. And it's necessary.
I mean, I wish it was my idea, but it was Kevin's. He loves seeing my mangina.
I don't like seeing his dick, but I like when he tucks it. It's pretty hot. I'm like, I could fuck him.
Yeah,
Would he fuck me?
He's like washed me a few times and masturbated to me touching my mangina. No, it's not true. But I do think it.
I just went so far as to say like I would fuck you, and then you tailor it back by going he jerked off once.
Because they would believe that, not you
true.
fucking me.
I believe both.
They believe
good
you
point.
jerking off in a chair.
When
while
the
I'm
servant
standing
becomes
there.
the master. Holy shit, my face is all alabaster.
But you saw it, and you were like, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing.
I love it. I mean, again,
Yeah.
it's been fun. The only one that I was a
If
little
I had his
hesitant on-
body, I'd fucking do it.
I don't have
You
a
duck?
I tuck all the time. I wouldn't even do it in movies. I'd be on the street and shit. Just
Which is where this all started. And when we first met, he used to be like, I'm going to go get a balls. I'd go to his house and harass him because I liked hanging out with him when I was younger. He had a big wall of comic books, like hundreds and hundreds, and a bunch of movies and stuff. And then I'd go over and be in his room and he'd be like, don't touch anything. And then he'd go in the room to like grab something, come back, and I'd be sitting there with my balls and penis tucked. And I'd be like, I didn't touch anything, bro, but look.
You used to be the kind of guy I'd be driving around with. He'd be like, is it hot in here? I'm like, no, why? And you look over and his like dick is out. And he's like, ha 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 ha.
So this really was your like, this is your life to yourself. You're like, you know what? That mangina has played a very important role in my life.
I've seen his dick and lack of dick more than I've ever seen my dick in my own life. So it had to go in the movie.
It has to be there. There was so many, like, because, like, you know, the whole universe that you guys created with these characters, like, that was, like, pretty much anybody in my generation, our whole high school experience, you know what I mean? So we're, like, in love with the whole thing. So when I turned it on, and it's just, like, every character ever, and then the references, like, you got so detailed. There's a scene where you're eating chocolate, and it just, even in the way you're licking your fingers.
Yes.
I go, Mallrats. Like every.
You saw it.
I
You
saw
pulled
it
that.
immediately. I
I
was
literally,
like,
that was my direction to him in the car. Remember in the car, I was just like, hit each finger like Rooker did in Mallrats.
yeah, like I rewound it just to be like, wait. Was that just in my head?
It is more full of Easter eggs than the last 10 Easters. Like it's just packed with in jokes and stuff.
Are there any that no one has gotten yet?
I'm
that, like,
sure.
or no one
I
has commented to you
I
on?
haven't started seeing it with the audiences yet. Like October 19th, when we start the tour, that'll be the first time. We didn't even test screen it or anything like that. I hope to God it's good. Everyone who's seen it seems like it, but we haven't done this thing where it's like, let's just show it to fans. We're about to start that. So I look forward to see if they get everything, and they absolutely will. I mean, if you grab that,
I grabbed it.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Was there anybody that was tough to get back into doing this thing? Because I feel like if you don't have everybody, you don't have anybody, right?
Yeah, there's, honestly, like the heart attack really helped in that degree. And as much as like you'd call people and be like, hey man, can you come? Thank you. Can you come down to New Orleans for like 2 hours to be in our movie? They're like, New Orleans, that's pretty fucking far. And you'd be like, you do remember I almost fucking died last year. And they're like, all right, I'm fucking coming. I'm coming. So a lot of folks, came back. Like it was crazy. But then there were folks that I didn't even think were coming back who did eventually come back. Like when I wrote the script and we went into production, there was no Holden. Ben wasn't going to be in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was seeing him on a junket. Somebody sent me a tweet of Kevin McCarthy, who does like press junkets all the time. He's out of Washington. He's like their movie reviewer on the news there. He, anytime he interviews somebody who's been in one of our flicks, he usually kind of starts with like a View Askew reference. So if he's interviewing Matt, he's just like, hey man, when are you going to start Good Will Hunting 2, hunting season? And Matt, you can see it on his face. He's like, Good Will Hunting 2. And then he's like, oh, Jane's on Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Kevin, blah, blah, blah. And so it makes, I guess, for a better interview. So with Ben, he was interviewing for this Netflix show called Triple Frontier. And right off the bat, he was like, hey man, they're shooting that reboot. Did they call you yet? And Ben was like, no. And I'm around. I'm not busy, but nobody's called. And so right away, he was like, you have to fucking call him, dude. That's a sign. I was like, that's not a sign. That's just some nice shit to say at a junket. Like, what is he supposed to say? Fuck those guys. Anyway, watch Triple Frontier. It's like.
But you hadn't talked to him in a while, right?
In a while, like almost 10 years.
Did you get him?
Did I get who?
Ben.
Did we get him in the movie?
Yeah.
We absolutely
You did?
Yeah.
We did. We did.
So you did call him.
Something tells me you didn't see the movie.
I did not. I never do.
I watch it for both of us.
Yeah,
You're that, you're like 5 minutes in, you're like, fuck this. I need nipple work.
I could do both. I could watch and enjoy. Did you think that he wasn't going to do it? Or
Yeah, I didn't even write him into the script because I hadn't spoken to him in so fucking long. So I didn't even write Holden in or anything like that. And then for a week, Jason and his wife Jordan, she's a producer on the movie, they kept saying, like, you should reach out to him. You should reach out to him. And finally I was like, all right, you know what? I'll tweet him. And I wrote this long tweet. And then Jordan was like, don't fucking tweet him. That's so gross. Like, just text him. I was like, I got 4 numbers. I don't know if any of them work.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, pick one. I picked one.
You know what's great? If it's the wrong number and it went to somebody else, somebody got the Kevin Smith, Ben Affleck text.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When I was texting with this person, I didn't know it was him. It's not like he sent me a photo and stuff. He started responding. I was like, is this still you? And he's like, yeah, this me. Who's this? And I was like, who are you? And he said, BA. And then he said, "This is your father." And then I knew it was Affleck. 'Cause that's the kind of shit he says. Like, "This is your father." And so he goes, "Who's this?" And I was like, this conversation ends right now, probably. And I wrote KS. And he was like, "Kevin?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "How you doing, man?" I said, "Great. I was about to tweet you this. So I'll just text it here." And I texted it like I was like, "We're all having a blast here in the past and wish you were here. But ever since the heart attack, I don't wish no more. I just asked, so will you please come down and play with us? Like, it'd be so amazing to see you again." I quoted the good King Osric from Conan the Barbarian. I was like, "There comes a time when the jewels cease to sparkle, the gold loses luster, the throne room becomes a prison. All an old director wants to do is make pretend with his buddies." And he wrote back instantly. He goes, "It's so telling that you still think of yourself as a king." And then he said, "I'd love to come play." And he came down and joined us, man. It was nuts. So I got to write, that scene didn't even exist when we started making the movie. And then, suddenly I got to put it in. I got to include him. I got to make a 8-minute Chasing Amy sequel in the middle of the movie. It was just wonderful.
Yeah. Now
it's fun watching a director do like what Tarantino did with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like where he's just kind of going down these weird little corridors that he wants to go down. That's kind of fun to watch somebody do. When you know the little things that they want to, like he wants to make a fucking Western in the middle of his movie. He wants to do this.
So you watched that movie, but you didn't watch our movie.
I was just hoping that I would get to talk to Quentin. No, they sent us a link, but I didn't know it when they sent it. I didn't realize that we had been sent a link.
In that movie, at one point, we watched someone go watch a movie, like Sharon Tate. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She goes to watch her own
walking
film
down like weird avenues.
Yeah.
The
and
real
he's like,
Sharon.
No, we're gonna leave it all in. We're gonna. Yeah.
I know, just like let it roll. But I'm happy with my kid was in that movie, so I was like, as long as you want.
Who was your kid in the movie?
She played one of the Manson kids. She was Froggy.
Oh, how old?
She's 20.
Oh, wow. Okay. Which one was? I don't remember. I didn't get all the names. Was she just one of the ones in the group?
Of the kids
okay.
In the group. Yeah. Like, she had like 1 or 2 lines, but she's in it a lot.
There's a whole bunch of. There's like Hollywood kids in it. Uma Thurman's kid is one of the Manson members, right?
Yeah.
Like.
I think there was a theme he had going on.
Squeaky From's niece?
No.
I made that up.
So your daughter's obviously in this one too.
Yeah, she right after Quentin's movie, we went and made this, and she got to us.
Isn't that great?
It was.
Isn't that great to hear from a daughter? Dad, I'm gonna need to delay shooting on your whatever you got going on. I have a Tarantino movie I'm doing.
Going on. When she told me she wanted to be in it, she was like, "I want to try out for this movie." She's like, "I've been reading books about the subject, and I watched a documentary." I said, "What's the movie?" She said, "Once Upon a Time in Hollywood." I was like, "Oh my God, kiddo, lower your expectations." I was like, "What are you fucking kidding me? I want to be in that movie. Everyone wants to be in that movie, man. That's a tough one to get into and stuff." And I always tell you to go for your dreams, but I don't know, like this one. So she auditioned for it and stuff and eventually got the part. And I was just like, well, fuck me. What do I know?
Did being your daughter help her?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to him. The way I heard the story was she auditioned. They don't give you lines to audition with. He says, make up a monologue for your character. So she went in, made up a monologue for her character, and he responded to that. At first he was like, she's too young. We don't really have anything for her. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, you know what? I like it a lot. I'm going to find her a place for her. So what I heard when she told me that, I was like, hey man, that's great. Congrats. Cause she wants to be an actress. She's been acting for a while. And I'm like, thing about acting is you put your fucking fate in somebody else's hands. You're waiting to get chosen by somebody else. Says fuck that. Fuck waiting to get chosen. Choose yourself. You're my kid. I didn't wait to get chosen. Otherwise I'd be sitting in Quick Stop still. I just went and made a fucking movie. Ben and Matt didn't wait to get chosen. You could fucking write for yourself. So she never really listened. And then after this thing with Quentin, I was like, all I hear in that story is one of the greatest writers in this business responded to a monologue that you wrote.
Did she make it up on the spot or beforehand? Do you know a week before you go in, I got to make this up? Make up a monologue.
You're a Manson kid. There's the shit you're going to talk about.
But she wrote it, and Tarantino's going yeah, that's good.
That's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? When she told me that story, I'm like, look, I'm glad you got a part in a movie, but that guy responded to your content.
Right.
Lean into that. Write a whole fucking movie. Fuck waiting for somebody to cast you and stuff.
And I mean, you're right,
including
Jim,
your father.
About Tarantino being able to go down those roads. The same thing you're doing with Jay and Silent Bob. The same thing Scorsese was able to just do with the Netflix movie Irishman.
But that's a different thing. They've been trying to do that for years, right?
Yeah.
And now Netflix is like, here's all the money in the world.
$160 million.
Good God.
But
you know what? I ain't complaining, are you?
Nope.
I want to see every one of them dollars on that screen.
All of them.
Yeah.
They're so good. But just the idea of several different avenues for creators just getting to create. It's probably the closest thing to going back to making Clerks when it was like nobody was paying attention and I could just go make this movie, right?
Nah, the closest thing to making Clerks was Tusk. Nobody was paying attention to that. Like nobody thought that. That was the one where on Clerks, nobody was paying attention, and I didn't once think like, what will happen to this? Every other movie, you're always thinking about like after that, like critics and box office and all that shit. Tusk, I didn't have any of those thoughts. All I thought was like, I just want to see this movie, which was the same spirit through which I made Clerks. Like, I just want to see it. I don't give a fuck about what happens or anything like that. So this one was more about Reboot was more about like the greatest high school reunion that we never had with like all of our friends. And instead of being like, oh, it sucked, everybody got laid and we were like, let's do it again next year. It was just phenomenal.
It's awesome.
Jason, how are you doing?
In what way?
Just in life. You look good. You look healthy.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm doing it. I had a lot of fun on the movie, and now I'm, we're getting ready for the Reboot Road show. I'm home mainly hanging out with the kid. My kid's 4.5 now, man, and it's literally I'm either streaming. I've been streaming, doing Twitch.
Okay.
Jay Muse, check it out. But I've been streaming, which has been a lot of fun. I've been like doing different stuff, but mainly it's hanging with the kid.
He's been building Legos on Twitch, and people are like, "That's my new."
Wow, they watch you do it and pay you, right? Or they tip you to do it, or something?
I mean,
tip you like, take off your shirt, work your nipples,
put that Lego in your mouth.
Brick in the bricks.
Hang on, honey, I got to make these gold coins. What do you want me to do with this?
Wow, building Lego, that's a good idea.
It is. It's been fun. People will sit and watch me build Legos.
They find it very zen. They're like, look at him. He's just, because he's sitting there quietly, like he's not even narrating it. He's just building his Legos. And people are like meditating to it.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of fun. But while I'm home, I've been doing that and hanging out with my kid and getting ready to go on this, the tour, which is going to be like 2 months solid or so. We're going to be gone.
Well,
and
2 months before Christmas, and then it goes again.
Yeah. So
Kevin, you weren't a big weed guy when Jay and Silent Bob first started, right?
No, even when we made Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, like if you watch that whole movie, there's like one real weed joke in it where like they get high with the Scooby Gang, and it looks like it's done by somebody who's never really spent much time smoking weed. Like more like it looks like other movies you've seen, and this is the first movie, View Askew movie set in the with our characters Jay and Silent Bob and whatnot that I ever made as a stoner. So the movie is much more weed friendly and accurate. There's actually a weed plot line that runs through it.
Are you smoking a lot still?
Oh, like crazy.
Isn't it hard not to eat bad when you're all fucking high all the time?
Not at all. I beat that one a long time ago, man. It just, I don't combine those two at all. In fact, one substitutes for the other.
Oh,
Most days I'm like, do I want to eat or do I want to smoke my lunch? Fuck it, I want to smoke my lunch and stuff.
Yeah.
So in the movie, the boys have 3 strains of weed, Snoogans, Snoochie Boochies, and Berserker. That play a part of the plot. And then we brought them into the real world on Friday. We just introduced our weed, to the weed legal states, and California being one of them and stuff. So we had this big, premiere party at this dispensary called Herbarium with 1,000 people showed up. It was dope.
It was awesome.
So we brought our weed into I'll show it to you, but I'm going to keep my weed. Snoochie Boochies.
Look at that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the sativa. It's got us on it and stuff. And then we've got Snoogans as an indica and Berserker as the hybrid. So
do you feel like this will be your legacy at the end of the day? It's
people will forget this fucking movie and they'll still be smoking this weed.
Right.
Because Caviar Gold powers the weed. They're the guys that they make such amazing fucking weed. So they're kind of the source behind it. So yeah, I think people forget about this flick and the weed will be its legacy.
I just love that all of your movies by certain people have been called stoner comedies.
Right.
And this is it. You've never been
Never done it.
Yeah.
Not a stoner at all.
Technically, the first stoner comedy I ever made was Tusk, and that's not even a comedy.
No.
But it is a stoner affair. That movie don't exist unless I'm like, let's make a movie about a guy who turns another guy into a walrus. That'd be fucked up.
How many years between films was this?
Between
this new one and the one you did before that you said you didn't want to be your last one.
Yoga Hosers.
Yoga Hosers. That was came out in 2016, and now we're 2019.
Oh, 3 years.
So about 3
You
years.
did not like Yoga Hosers, or
I
people
love
didn't
Yoga
love it?
Hosers, but people shit in its mouth constantly. I hate that movie. They come at it so hardcore. That's why I was like, I feel like we went down so far with that movie. There's nowhere to go but up with this movie. And this movie is incredibly self-indulgent. I'm literally in every frame of the movie. When I'm not Silent Bob, I'm playing fucking Kevin Smith in the movie. I think the only time I get away with this movie is post-heart attack. people who want to like be like, fuck him, are going to be like, well, he did almost die. Let him have this fucking
Did
movie.
you really mention the heart attack when you texted Ben Affleck? Like, hey, ever since the heart attack, I'm going to try.
Dude, I mentioned the heart attack in the movie.
Good for you.
It's in part of the plot. I mentioned the heart attack. Like, I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, heart attack's the biggest thing that ever happened to me since Clerks. I've been talking about Clerks for 25 fucking years, and now I can be like, oh, and I had a heart attack, too.
Yeah.
Two things happened
Is
to
that
me.
how you got Matt Damon to come back as well?
He was coming back regardless.
I see.
He's always been fairly cool with us. But we didn't know how we were going to use him. At first, I was just going to use him as like Matt Damon.
Right.
Then my wife was like, how come you never think to use him as Loki from Dogma? I was like, because Loki died. And she's like, in a movie. And I was like, oh, fuck, you're right. I
Wait a
put him
minute.
into the movie as Loki. It was fun.
I made up this whole universe.
I know. I can do
forgot.
anything. I'm God here.
That's what I need. I don't have a heart attack to get into. I need something I can tell my Kevin Hart about. Just things that he could get me
Get
into.
that sympathy.
Yeah.
Up. You need.
It helps.
Erection difficulties is not cutting it. I've
It
tried that
helps.
for years.
I remember at one point in my life, somebody said, I forget who it was, but they were like, you could always have a second act in this business. And I was like, I think I'm on my 9th. What do you mean second act? They're like, just the way to change the conversation, you could lose weight one day. And I was like, oh, I'd never do that. And then post-heart attack, I went vegan, then lost the weight. And it did create a whole different conversation. I literally just interviewed with Muscle and Fitness.
Of course you did.
Which is nuts. I have no muscles and I know nothing about fitness.
Editor's job?
Pretty much. I'm like, can I do the comic strips here?
So you, what do you, when you're vegans have good desserts, like even though it's,
Yeah, 'cause
it's
sugar's
all
vegan.
sugar, yeah.
I mean, good
but
desserts
they're
compared
tasty.
to their food, or good desserts compared to actual desserts.
They're actually really good fucking
They're pretty
desserts.
tasty
They're
desserts.
really good, man. They're way better. Like, what do they use? Like nut butter, like ice cream or whatever, like almond ice cream.
Yeah,
It's better
to be
than you
honest,
think.
when you made that scrunchy face and said nut butter, I got a little bit hard.
Yeah, because you
nut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use a lot of. Sometimes they don't even use any milks or anything, man. They just kind of go pure chocolate. They use like pure chocolate. Desserts kind of work out. I don't know how because they don't use milk.
Do you miss meat?
Never.
You don't? Okay.
No. Honestly, I don't miss anything. There's not. I used to drink 2 gallons of milk a day. Probably why I had the heart attack. And I
You
don't
really
miss
drink that much milk?
I did.
As an adult?
Were you the professional?
That's incredible.
As a child, I drank 2 gallons of milk a day.
Why were you drinking so much milk? You just really like milk?
I did, and somebody made
That's so much milk.
Somebody made the mistake. Well, I did almost die. I was punished
know,
for
with
it.
that fucking. How do you
I didn't
sleep?
fuck you up with your nipple work and shit.
No,
like
no.
that.
I
I'm
just
on your
don't.
side.
I don't
Jim,
even
to be
knock
fair,
it.
your habits also should have killed you by
I'm
now.
garbage, but I'm just saying that milk is so mucusy. I could never sleep if I drank it like that. I'd be like,
I gotta tell you, I felt a little judged right there.
No, never judge.
I'm not even the milk drinker anymore, but you're gonna make me pick up milk again.
I'm judging the
Because I'm
milk.
like, fuck him.
I judge the milk.
Dairy
Milk
recovery.
indeed. It is. It's like it's cow puss. You shouldn't be drinking it. I remember my kid. She was vegan before I was, and she was the one that flipped me, man. After the heart attack, the nutritionist in the hospital was like, you had a lot of cholesterol, man. 100% blockage. You might think about, going plant-based. My kid was like, yes, please, Dad. One of us, vegan and stuff. And I knew part of it was because she was like, oh, I want to help save his life. But the other part of it was like totally agenda-oriented. She's like, if I could flip this motherfucker, he's a big get for the vegan community and stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so she worked it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll try your way for 6 months. My way, for 47 years almost killed me, so let me try your way.
What was the first vegan
thing?
thing you ate that you're like, fuck, I could live this way? Like, what was the first vegan thing that you're like, all right, this life might work?
Beyond Burger. I had a Beyond Burger, and I'm not even a hamburger guy. Like back in the day, I wasn't even like, give me all the hamburgers and
Beyond
shit. I'm not
Burger.
like a wimpy or something like that from fucking Popeye. But I had a Beyond Burger, and I was like, are you shitting me? This is plant-based? Holy fuck.
People are excited about those Whoppers at Burger King, the Impossible
They got
Burgers or
Impossible
whatever.
Whopper.
Yeah.
McDonald's is trying out in Canada PLT, which is made with Beyond Meat.
And KFC just had Impossible Chicken. Like
They've added it?
They sampled it in like Atlanta. They were like, we're going to do this for a month. It's sold out before the first week.
telling you.
Is it cooked separately too, or
They got it.
They do,
yeah, they
right?
do it in
Except
different
in
oil, yeah.
McDonald's, they're saying up in Canada, they're not cooking on a separate grill. The weird thing too is like a lot of places that offer the Impossible Burger or Beyond Burger, like that are mainstream chains, are then like, do you want cheese on it? And you're like, vegan cheese? And they're like, no, real cheese. I'm like, what's the fucking point?
Wasn't one a vegetarian, one a vegan though? Like
It's true. Some cats are okay with the cheese and stuff.
But if you're
you
going to
know,
go vegan, yeah.
go all the way.
Vegan, you can't fuck with. But veggies, I could maybe live without meat, but have some cheese. A little cheese I would want. I don't like vegan cheese.
So when you're drinking 2 gallons a day, are you drinking straight out of the jug, or are you just pouring glass after glass?
Glass after glass.
Chocolate milk or regular?
Regular.
Okay.
That's incredible.
I just don't like
I always
it that
felt
much.
chocolate milk would be unhealthy.
You're right.
So, do you buy, like, how much milk at a time do you buy? Because it doesn't last, so...
I was, like, pretty much a 2-gallon-a-day guy, so I would...
But you would buy every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was, like, a part of the... Like, I remember one time my wife came home and she didn't have milk, and I'm like, it's the only thing I drink. And she's like, I know, I'm so sorry.
So you just have to buy I need every morning. We just need to go out and buy my milk. And then we can start the day.
It was on the rider for our tour when we toured Get Old and stuff.
Really?
It was like Muse, Red Bull, Smith, milk.
What kind of milk? 2%? Whole?
Whole milk.
And you enjoyed the taste of it.
I did.
Wow.
Here's the thing. One of the podcasts I do is Edumacation with Andy McElfresh. And Andy, smartest guy I know. And he was just like, he said this, like, not even a specious fact, true fact, where he's like, milk is rather filling because it coats the stomach. So even after you're done drinking it, it still gives you a sense of satiety. And so, and he said, so it could be a meal replacement. So I was like, oh, I'm going to start drinking milk instead of eating. And then I did that for a while, but then I started drinking milk with eating, which defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
And then I was just kind of double fisting it, food and milk. And that was my go-to drink. And then, heart attack.
That's what happens, I guess.
Do you like ice cream?
blockage.
See, if you like milk, you must love ice cream.
I did back in the
Yeah,
day.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
How about vegan ice cream? Is it
Pretty good.
Oh,
Like,
you just talked
honestly,
about that. Okay.
They
we
make
just-
coconut milk stuff is pretty damn good.
I tried to get into coconut milk and coconut water. I fucking can't stand coconuts. I'm tired of them.
I don't
I've
like the
tried
way
to.
coconut water tastes, but it's amazing
Tastes like
what it'll
armpit.
do for you.
Yeah, it's pretty good
Like
for your body.
like
Is
the
it good for you?
electrolytes, and headaches, hangovers, all that stuff just goes away
Really?
magically with coconut water.
You sound like one of those dudes in that Warner Brothers cartoon and shit, where they're stuck on the island eating coconuts and Bugs Bunny shows up and shit, and then they start looking at each other like they're steak. Like, I fucking hate coconuts.
Oh, I didn't realize it had all those health benefits.
Oh my god, yeah, it's
It does
crazy.
good shit for you, apparently.
Maybe I'll try it.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of like
Why
almond
is-
milk. I've tried it in coffee. It's
You know what the new
hideous.
thing is? Oat milk.
Oh fuck oat milk.
I've had
Oat
that.
milk
They
is
make
big.
an oat milk ice cream, which I've had, which is pretty good.
Yeah, my kid drinks oat milk and coconut water and eats hummus. And
Did you never? My God, that's what my kid did.
Yeah.
You guys never introduce your kid to like milk?
I don't.
We
No,
never did. My
no.
wife was like, "This kid's never gonna drink milk."
He went
I was like,
from-
"How will she eat cereal?"
He went from the titty to oat milk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cereal oat milk.
What do you mean cereal?
Like oat milk in cereal.
you could do that.
Oh yeah, sure. If he eats cereal, he'll put oat milk in.
It doesn't, right? Oat milk it blows.
No,
Oat
it's
milk is
cereal.
really- it's
no, it's
more
cereal.
watery.
Almond milk or anything, yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'll
I
eat
mean, but
cereal.
when you don't know any better,
That's true, and it's all you know. I'll eat cereal barehanded though. I just eat it with my hands. I don't even
Fuck
like
yeah.
putting fluid in there. Just wanted to say something boring.
unlike your mouth, you don't like putting fluid in
Mission
there.
accomplished.
Yeah. Well, look, everybody. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Everybody's got to go see this thing. It's in theaters October 15th. I also think this is what I was thinking. It's
Bring
not
your oat milk.
It's not just it's not, and you can get tickets at fathomevents.com/reboot. It's not just the heart attack, I don't think. I think you've hit a sweet spot with Jay and Silent Bob where there was a time where I think like after Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, weren't you like, we're retired? Characters are being retired. The View Askew universe is over.
He'd asked me for a decade, man, while we've been out there doing the Jay and Silent Bob Get Old podcast. He's like, man, why don't we do another one of these? Everyone likes these guys. And I'm like, I'm shocked we got away with it once. Like, let's never do it again.
I think that it's not just the heart attack. You're in that sweet spot that all like bands go through where they were super popular and then people are just moved on to something else. And then it comes back around where it's
Yeah.
like, oh no, it's cool now.
We're oddly retro because we've
Yeah.
lasted long enough. Yeah, it's true. And you've actually described like my entire career arc. Like in the beginning, they were like, hey, he fucking rocks. And then at a certain point, they were like, hey, he fucking sucks. And then at a certain point, they were like, oh, he's all right again. And then the heart attack, they're like, oh, thank God he lived.
He's the
I
man now.
honestly expected like, you know, internet's being what the internet's is. Like when I had the heart attack, I looked online. I expected a bunch of people to be like, I wish he had finally fucking died. Silent Bob forever, piece of shit. But largely very positive. People
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, thank God he's still here.
Does
that
that-
felt fantastic.
Does that middle part suck?
Which one?
The dip?
Where
it's
it's
like,
like,
you're
everyone's
the
going,
man,
"You
you're
suck."
not
You
the
just
man.
stay
You're
busy. Like, you
Yeah.
know, let's see. Where was my middle part? Like, because that's up to...
That's your favorite part.
Wait, while you're thinking of that, why don't you put you on the spot? What band would you compare us to? Because you said a lot of rock bands go, they're popular, then they suck, disappear, and then that.
Ooh, I got one. Can I compare us?
Yes, please.
I always thought that we were like Anthrax. Not the disease, the band. And
Sure.
have a hardcore following.
Yeah.
They write only songs about what they want to write about and stuff. They've never bothered to try to even go mainstream and stuff. And they've definitely flirted with it and had success and whatnot. But then they just do their own thing. That's what I think.
Not Aerosmith? I guess because they came back with ballads.
Yeah.
And also they were incredibly successful both times. We were like low end of this shit. You know what I mean?
Anthrax is a good comparison. Yeah, Anthrax.
so,
They're very.
you know?
Anthrax is one of the big four in metal.
Ozzy's a good example. Ozzy was super hot.
Ozzy's a terrible example. He's an icon.
I mean, in the
He's
early
a terrible example. He never had a dip.
He never had.
The man had no dip.
In most of the '90s, he
Shot
was
in the
dipping.
Dark was a big hit.
Bro,
No
you
More
could be a
Tears.
fan,
was a
but
big
you
hit.
got to acknowledge the Ozzy dip.
No, in 2002, the Osbournes was a big hit. There's never been an Ozzy dip.
The TV show was the dip.
That's Get Old.
Yeah.
Osbournes is our Get Old, right?
Yeah, the '90s is not a great time
It's
for
a great
Ozzy.
time for Ozzy. He was touring. Ozfest was a giant hit. He was breaking bands. Marilyn Manson, Disturbed. Ozzy never had a dip. Not even a moment.
Stupid example.
Yeah,
on my
exactly.
part.
Has he come in here?
Many times, yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
And?
We always have fun with Ozzy. I love him. He's
I know.
my favorite
clearly,
person.
clearly.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, we get shut off automatically. By
Get
the
those
computer.
tickets. Jay and Silent
By
Bob
computer,
reboot.
really?
They do, yeah. 'Cause that's just that we're on a timer.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'll shut up.
In theaters October 15th. Tickets on sale, fathomevents.com/reboot. And then the big tour starts. 2-month road show.
6 months, actually.
6-month road show. Jay and Silent Bob are going to be there. Kevin's going to sit there and watch this movie over and over and over and over and over again.
I can't wait.
And it's a movie he made, and he's actually excited about it. So I think that tells you that you should be excited about the film,
I
too,
like
right?
myself, though. It's obvious.
You do.
We're happy you're okay. I was very happy that you're all right.
And
man.
I'm happy this movie exists. I'm happy the View Askew universe gets that sort of, grand hurrah.
One more time.
Yeah.
We're all
One more
happy.
time.
Everyone's ending on a happy note.
It's a
I
great
love
way
it.
to go out.
And
you
you
can
call
start
the-
your day in a great way, folks. Reach out to an old friend you
Yeah.
haven't spoken to in a long time, man.
Try to
Make
text Ben
misconnections.
Affleck.
Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, you say this is the gravestone. I wouldn't shock me if Jay and Silent Bob had one more in him after this.
Let me tell you, if we can make it 15 more years when his daughter is Harley's age,
Yeah.
then we get to do it one more time.
I love it. Thank you guys for hanging.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
good
us.
seeing you guys,
man.
man. Good seeing you
Excellent
guys.
Yes. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.